The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a scramble.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Good afternoon, beautiful people. I hope you had an incredible weekend. Whenever you're talking about weekends, I hope you're having a weekend or had a weekend that was one that you'll talk about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Let's not make one mistake into another. Let's go ahead and turn down the music since people are potentially listening all over on Sirius XM Channel 82 Mad Dog Sports Radio and live on YouTube at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. I am the namesake of the host, and I am joined by a couple fabulous individuals who sit inside a room and talk into microphones with me on a very daily basis. That one's not on.
Dead as well.
That one's not on. Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor. Hey, listen, boys. Whenever you talk about the weekend that was, and this is for the first time in a long time, how about soccer maybe being the leadoff here?
Here we go.
This is not a, yeah, your mic's off, your mic's off. Yeah. How about soccer potentially being the leadoff in this entire thing? Because this weekend, there was soccer teams from all over Europe and Russia playing in a tournament that I did not know existed until very, very recent here. And if you watched the games this weekend, you found out, oh, you don't give a fuck about this. That is probably how a lot of us felt that are listening to this show. That is how a lot of us felt, I think, in here. I tried to watch. I tried to be invested. I tried my best to learn about the world's game, but it was just very difficult to care about any of those games, knowing that the team that I'm ultimately pulling for in the end, the United States, can never win that. Now, if they would have allowed, the CONCACAF Nations Champion,
Here we go.
also known as the United States of America, to play in an exemption for a representative of the CONCACAF, then I think there would be, or maybe if there was even a conversation about that potentially happening, I think then I would think, you know what, I could care about this. It was tough for me to get invested in it, but when that incident happened on Saturday morning, it was almost like a perspective putter for everybody. I started thinking to myself, if Christian Eriksen, a man who had a cardiac arrest on the field while the ball was getting thrown to, as he was touching the ball, he passed it back, full collapse, full cardiac arrest, right on TV. Then all of a sudden, you have teammates running over, oh shit, full panic. Then these I don't know if they're paramedics, I don't know if they were doctors, I don't know if they were nurses, I'm not exactly sure who they were. They immediately start doing CPR live on the field right in front of everybody. I would assume that there was millions of people watching around the globe, I'd assume, especially in Europe, watching that whole thing take place. We were watching it here in the United States on NBC. Then the people in the stadium, it was a scene that honestly, one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my entire life. You're watching this man who is, in your eyes, in my eyes, as somebody who played soccer growing up, he had to be in peak human performance. To play soccer. That is a marathon. That is an absolute problem. I mean, that is something that... Is this one on?
Here we go.
That is something that sport is not only predicated upon being smart and having, the wits of understanding the strategy and everything like that of soccer, but you also have to have the conditioning of a marathon runner. You have to train basically every single day, all year round. Their seasons are incredibly long, especially for him who plays on Inter Milan. Then you see something like that happen, a scary scene where somehow he ends up in stable stable condition just like 11 to 12 minutes later when they get him into an ambulance and get him to a hospital. There's a shot of him going into the ambulance where his eyes are alert. And my first thought was like, man, that was like 10 minutes long. It started at like 46 minutes on the clock, which never stopped. By the way, neither did the broadcast, which I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have to answer some questions.
Yeah, for sure.
Because as I was watching at home alongside my wife, who actually, I think I had went back to the bedroom to grab something, and she like called. She was like, Pat, and I came out. She was one. So we just sat there for what? That was like 7-8 minutes of just like almost silence. Mm-hmm. The commentators were trying to put a perspective on it. Then you started seeing his wife was down there, the goalie running back and forth, coach running back and forth, teammates crying. And it was like, at what point do you think you send us back to the studio? Right? That's what I think I was thinking watching at home. But then in this particular case, I mean, I guess hindsight's always 2020, and we all assume the absolute worst, but the incredible work by the medical professionals. I have no idea how they were able to do that. I am bravo, hell of a job. Amazing work by the responders there that took off and did that. And I guess hindsight, since they did show us all that, I think it gives us a much better perspective and like in admiration of the medical people like that saved that whole thing, because we watched a guy that was dead. And then they say he was gone. Yeah, he was dead. And they brought him back to life. So I guess we got a chance to witness something that potentially happens sometimes in hospitals behind closed doors. But man, if that guy ends up dying in the long run, which is incredibly sad, Christian Eriksen, obviously, that the people that were covering that, we watched somebody's last. I mean, it's just, that was a wild situation. I thought they were going to go to studio a lot quicker than they did. Then UEFA obviously suspending the match and bringing the match back. That's a whole thing now because they end up losing. I mean, it is. And by the way, this guy was like a stud player for them. Oh, yeah. This was a guy. I texted Gumpy. I was like, hey, who is this? He's like, hey, he used to play here. Now he plays at Inter. He's a big. I'm like, damn, how the hell does this happen? Happy he's okay. But that was a crazy moment in my sports watching live. Did you guys get to see it? I assume?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I can't remember if it was on the like ESPN copy or if maybe it was a tweet I saw from just like the stadium or a different broadcaster, but I'm pretty sure they showed them like hitting him with the paddles too.
They did.
They absolutely
That
did.
was what brought him back to life, right? With the paddles.
But when I saw that, I was like, holy shit. Like I was trying to think if we'd ever seen anything like similar to this in like any sporting event, and most of the time, it's just like a guy with like a gruesome injury or something like that. I was trying to think football, but
the cramp, I guess, would be the Tony Romo, the which, by the way, it has to be very hard to talk over those gruesome injuries. It's always like bone or something like that, like skin, blood, bone. Oh my God, that surgery is going to be crazy. Whenever it's like, oh, hey,
this guy could die.
This is it right here. My dad played in a, I forget what age I was, over 30 league or over 40 league or something like that. And I did not go to the game. I usually went to every single one of his games. I did not go to this game for whatever reason. One of his teammates had a full heart attack on the field. And that whole thing happened. And I'm very happy I wasn't there. I'd assume that would be, a traumatizing thing, especially there instead. I mean, very, very fortunate that he was in the presence of whoever the fuck saved his life there. Whoever that was, incredible job. But man, what a perspective. That could happen to Christian Eriksen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happy he's all right, man. That's a wild, wild weekend. Then after that, hearing he's okay, good news. Let's go ahead. Hopefully he'll be able to regain everything, because with that amount of time, with an absence of airflow, I wonder what potentially happens, That's kind of, but they were pressing, I guess, for the whole, man, I don't know enough about medical. All I do know is I said, holy shit, is this happening? I thought it was almost like I'm going to say outer body. It just didn't feel real.
Yeah,
it didn't feel real while it was happening. It just didn't. I just learned of this tournament. I just found out it's a massive deal. Then bang, I'm watching. It's like, oh my God, here we go. But then after we find out he's okay, the day moves along. Then what time is it? It's fucking Nate Diaz. Hey, it is Nate Diaz. Now, I know there were other fights, okay? And there was the stars were in abundance.
A lot of them.
You know what I mean? The stars were out there.
yeah.
It was a hell of a show, okay? I didn't catch a lot of the fights leading up to Nate Diaz or many afterwards. But going into, watching clips on the internet and seeing everybody that was there and the moments and the lead up and Beeb showing up alongside Austin Matthews. Shout out to Sports Center, on the internet, clipping out the athlete in the photo and putting Beebs in there. By the way, Beebs moves the needle.
Yeah, that's Beebs.
I don't know if you saw where Dana White put Beebs. Hard side camera on the opposite side of that. Go ahead and put him down there.
Yep.
Go ahead and give him a little space so he can lean forward too, by the way. Beebs looked incredibly interested in what was going on, by the way. And obviously, he's the needle mover. Then you had the Fertitta guy who sold the company, by the way, the original owner of UFC, who's sitting there cage side. And it's the first 5-round non-championship or non-title fight the UFC's ever had for Nate Diaz. And it starts out, and Nate Diaz comes out, and I'm like, okay, here we go. This is our guy. This is it. Place goes ape shit for him. That has to be a feeling that is pretty cool. You're walking out to fight another human. That's a gladiator experience.
Yeah.
This is like the actual gladiator. And that entire place in Arizona was on his side. I mean, the entire place. And then old buddy Leon comes out or whatever. He gets booed. I was like, okay.
Whoa.
I wonder if he knew he was going to be the heel. He was very, very... didn't really let it affect him, didn't play into it, much was in there. But when Nate starts fighting and bending over in front of him and doing all this, and you got Rogan going crazy. No, this is a part of his strategy, by the way. He is trying to fuck with this guy. I'm like, this is why Nate is the man. Like, you forget about these things after watching so many of these UFC events when a Diaz brother's not fighting. You forget that is their actual style. Like, hey, fuck you. Like, hey, they are actually, black belt jiu-jitsu trained incredible athlete fighters that are like street style fighters. And I absolutely love everything about it. He gets into the third round, okay? Felt like he was just trying to make it to the fourth round maybe because I thought somebody might have had a bet or something. Was there over, under, on? He gets then into the fifth round. It's like, okay, here's Nate Diaz time. And I don't know if old buddy fully respected it that entire time. Diaz had his ass out.
Oh, yeah.
That guy was out with like 48 seconds left, I think.
Wobbling.
I don't know why he didn't. You know what I mean? I think he tried afterwards, but I think even he was incredibly tired with his incredible cardio and conditioning, and he smokes. Guy's a fucking hero, this guy. He's a fucking hero. And I think he could have had him.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think he pointed at him, and the camera, with Diaz had his one eye closed, the whole thing, and that's just kind of, hey, scar tissue. He's got so much built up scar tissue from all the fight. He bleeds a lot of work. That held true.
Okay.
There was a lot of blood. They were zooming in on old buddy's face. He was out.
Yeah.
I think all Diaz had to do was literally just give him like a little shove at that one time. I wonder if, when you're 24 minutes into a fight, if that isn't as noticeable as maybe when you zoom in on 4K.
Right.
When you zoom in on 4K, there's a lot of people tweeting like, oh, it was a work. He didn't want to beat him. He just wanted to put on a show, blah, blah. There's people tweeting that. He didn't do that. It was like, maybe he's 24 minutes into the fight, and he's like, yeah. Is he out? I think he's out.
Yeah.
I think he's out there. It was an amazing show. I loved it. And then I went to bed immediately after that. Congrats to Stylebender.
Of course.
And
Vittori.
who?
Marvin Vittori.
Okay, that winner.
He did. He's who fought Stylebender. Brandon Moreno.
Moreno,
There it is.
champion.
Yep.
Okay, congrats to him. And he beat up that other guy.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he beat up the other guy.
Figueroa.
Hey, Figure Henry, right? Yeah.
Henry Figueroa.
Yeah.
Even if Diaz didn't want to win, though, isn't that what makes him so awesome? Is that he's just in there to put on a show and fucking point at people after he knocks them out?
Well, then he also gave away his home address. So he's having a house party. Come on over to the house. And then I think he was trying to get a shout out to a sponsor or a business there at the end. He got it, by the way. He was like, Joe, give me a fucking. He goes over, he talks again. The camera was off him. He couldn't get the shirt on, which I wonder if that was going to be maybe a plug for his bud or something like that. Because, after you fight for 25 minutes, I'd assume it's difficult to get a shirt on.
Yeah.
What a legend, man. Love that guy, by the way. And then he was asked about what strand of weed he was smoking. And he said, it is an indica, but
I like them
I'll
all.
fucking smoke with him. Big fan of that. Shout out to him. Then, obviously, on Sunday, there's some golf happening. There's some life happening. There was an IndyCar race. There was tennis. Joker.
Yeah,
Hey,
Joker.
Hey,
Joker. Big win over in Paris there in tennis. He had it with that Greek fellow, though. Hey, he had it all. I mean, that went to extra innings.
Oh, yeah?
That thing goes to extra innings, almost goes into even more. You know what I mean? Almost sudden death OT was happening at one point. Joker is incredibly talented.
Yeah.
I like how emotional he is, though. I like that he, has a little bit of like competitive juices.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I like that a lot. Now, I assume he is considered to be a bit brash and maybe insufferable by some in the tennis community.
Yeah, I think there's probably a lot of people who don't like him.
Yeah, I enjoy whenever
He's
somebody
awesome.
goes into one of those yuppie worlds and is just completely a maniac. I think that's why people like McEnroe. If you think back to when Tiger went into the golf world, that was a super, hey, how you doing, keep it moving type sport. And Tiger comes in and is like, yeah, fuck you. No, I'm trying to win every single one we got here. Like I enjoy like when competitive juices start popping off in situations that are competitive that have to get buried by people though. It seems like some of those sports, they're like, hey, that's not. Hey, it's always like act like you've been there, act like you've been there, act like you've been there. It's like, well, what if my natural reaction is to be like, yeah, I haven't been
Hey,
here.
I'm pumped.
Hey, I have not, I might have been here before, but I may never be here again. Let's go ahead and enjoy this thing. It's like, I think Djokovic is a little bit like that with the way he handles some shit.
Well, and he is one of those guys who could say, like, well, not many people have been where I mean, I think he won his 19th Grand Slam. Like, and like, I think we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, but like, top tier tennis, like very, very competitive tennis, is one of the most fun things to watch. Like, I mean,
champion when it matters.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like days like yesterday, where it's like the final. I mean, like you said, it goes into extra sets. Like every point is just a long volley. It was awesome.
I was trying my best because it keeps score just like baseball.
Oh yeah.
So I seen it on the TV. They're going a little bit long. I didn't remember what it was. They got the deuce there though.
Oh yeah.
In that extra set to win that whole thing. And Joker put on the gas pedal. He said, "Hey pal, not today. You're not going to have your little fairy tale night against me." No. Sipitas. Was that his name? Sitiatapas.
Yeah.
Tsitsipas?
He was really good.
Yeah.
I became a fan of him.
He's
Good
young,
flow.
too.
Yeah, I became a fan of him in that match or whatever. And I thought to myself, there was a moment where
Joker.
Tsitsipas?
Is that his name?
Tsitsipas, I believe that is how you pronounce it. yeah.
I'm trying my best. I see it on the screen. I didn't know how to pronounce it when it was on the screen. I didn't have sound on, so so I'm trying to sound it out. But it is a Greek last name. I apologize. Representing Greece, though, there was a moment where they were in extra sets. And it was getting pretty close there. And I think it could have turned for him. Like, he could have potentially went on to win. He had this moment where he did, like, this nice, deep breath. It was like a... And I would like to know what he was thinking in that moment. Because I assume he was thinking to himself, I've worked my entire fucking life. I'm playing against Joker right now in the championship of in the whatever the fuck it's called. Like, that was a cool moment for me, like looking at like the athlete inside. There was like a full deep inhale where it's like, yeah, you've been here before. No, you haven't actually. No, you have not. This is Joker. This is you thought you were here. Fuck it. I enjoyed that moment. It was cool competition to watch.
Yeah.
And whenever you say like high level tennis is cool to watch, if it matters, that's like my thought with this Euros. Like, I assume this is good soccer. A lot of teams I watched this weekend is Euros. I think our United States team, CONCACAF champs, could go walk in there and just fucking have their way, by the way.
Crush 'em.
Which makes me feel even better about the World Cup that's coming up.
Can't wait.
Hey, hate to break it to you, Europe. Hate to break it. We learned the game.
Yeah.
We learned how to play the game.
We got the guys.
Okay, we got to send our guys over to your towns. All right, we send them over to your towns. You guys just kind of give them the game, and then they're coming back and they're teaching everybody else. Shout out to Reina. Shout out to Pulisic. Shout out to the World Cup champs on whenever the fuck the World Cup is in a year or 2, 3, whatever it is.
Yeah. You mentioned them going over and playing. I mean, don't do that. We won the CONCACAF. Let's get the winner. Let's get the winner of the Euros,
Hey.
and then we'll play that
Hey,
team.
you know what? You're right.
Yeah.
Because this was the first time the CONCACAF ever happened.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, some are saying CONCACAF, but then you're leaving out a certain, at least Caribbean, I think you're also leaving
that's
out
right.
there, which is a little bit rude. But what if the CONCACAF is the premier title? What if the United States goes on to win the World Cup and all of a sudden the CONCACAF is now the league that homes the World Cup champion?
Boom.
What do we do now? Do you guys potentially No, is it like a Champions League thing where you guys are competing? Top 4 can come play against the CONCACAF World Cup Champion League?
That's a good idea.
I mean, maybe. I'm just spitballing here. This could happen. So maybe invite us to the Euros earlier. You know what I mean? So we don't have to do that type of stuff. You know what I mean? We can kind of bring this whole thing together. But until the United States of America, which is its own continent, is part of the Euros,
Right.
it's going to be hard for me to be invested.
Well, like we said, too, I mean, listen, the CONCACAF is the second most prestigious tournament in the world after the World Cup.
Yeah, Gumpy's been out here trying to sell us a bag of goods on these Euros.
I mean,
Hey, it was tough to watch.
hey, and they gave multiple 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3. I mean, you had
Here we go.
multiple opportunities. I was like, okay, hey, maybe we got some guys in this one.
Hey, you know what I learned though with that type of booking? With that type of booking or whatever, like the NFL when they have that morning game, I'm gonna watch it because it's the NFL.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna watch it because it's the NFL. But I could see how a casual fan that morning game, if it's not a good game, guess what? They're gone and they're like, okay, when's the next games? Next games are at 1. All right, cool. I'm gonna go do my shit. I'll be back at 1. And then at 1, there's like 17 games. There isn't, but there is you get it.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of games at 1, then at 4 there's a plethora, and then, the Sunday Night Football primetime game you're hoping is going to be a good game. So that's kind of, when we do the whole day like they are doing with this current Euros setup on us. The issue with it is, though, just like the casuals have with the NFL with the morning game, if I peek into one of these Euros games and I don't even know what the countries are when I just see a little. I don't know who, and I don't know a single player on any of these, and it's 0-0. I mean, there's a good chance I'm like, all right, when's that next game? 3 hours from now? All right,
sounds good.
Maybe I'll
See
remember.
that.
Maybe I'll
Check
come
back
back. Croatia's playing?
Sounds good.
All right, I'll check in on the Croatians here in 3. Then you go back over there and you start, and it's like 1-0 or whatever, and it's. I don't know any of these people.
This game's over.
I already missed the goal.
Stinks. I already missed the goal. I missed the whole thing. I showed up at the gas station and the winning scratch off was already sold. There ain't no winners here. I'm just buying it. That's basically what you feel like when you're watching this game. And then you get, maybe even you watch 20, 30 minutes. It's like, what am I fucking
What's going
doing?
on here?
Why am I doing this? That's kind of how I felt all weekend. I think, though, when it gets to like the
Semifinals,
quarterfinal, semifinal, I think I'll be invested then. Like whenever it's a semifinal of this Euros.
Yes.
Maybe if England's playing, since I watched The Crown, I feel like I know a little bit about what's going on.
The Lions.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. And by the way, I heard there's a little dissension among the ranks in the French squad.
Yeah.
I
Not
heard the French team's potentially in disarray. They were the favorite to win the whole thing. And then Belgium came through. Hey, good team, that Belgium team. Wait till they show up in that.
Yeah.
Hey, when we get to the Euro football playoffs, hey, when we get to the quarterfinal or whatever, that's when I'm gonna pay attention to that.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any feeling that can equate to when you're watching a soccer game and you get up and you're not watching and they score a goal. That is it completely takes the air out of your sails. You can't watch it anymore.
Yeah.
I waited 49 straight minutes. And what do? Fucking knock one in? What a joke, dude.
Well, I'm taking a dump. Are you kidding me?
I was forced to go to the bathroom because you guys were playing so long. All right, you decided to make this thing go 50 minutes in the first half because there's 5 minutes extra time or whatever. And now I go poop or pee, and you guys decide to make something happen. Now you're right. I mean, now everybody just DVRs goes back, but
Not me. I got to watch it in real time.
well, and a big issue I'm having is that moment that you missed, because you were taking a dump. I probably saw it before you on my Twitter timeline.
Yeah.
And I probably saw that goal happen, and guess what? I didn't have to do.
Watch 48 minutes of action.
Bingo.
It's the worst part.
Yeah.
You know what though? If United States was playing, I'd watch that thing.
100%.
We need a team to win like 7 or 8-0 too. Like I feel like that, like with like the Women's World Cup, like every once in a while I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll watch the women's, the U.S. team. Like we're gonna beat someone 15-1 today. Like that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Well, and also, by the way, if you see a team hang 8 on someone, 9, you're like, okay, this is my new favorite team.
Right. I'm invested now.
This is my team. Okay, so when they're playing, there's a chance this is going to happen. A lot of people are probably calling us just ignorant, though, I assume right now, for the way we're speaking about the World's game.
Sorry. It's the truth.
Hey, we might be in the minority of thinking about the sport, but just know that this opinion does exist out there.
Oh yeah.
It's right now. It's happening in this room.
Pretty correct.
That was tough to watch, dude. I wanted to so bad. Joining us now, though, to talk about some other big news that happened this weekend, especially in our world. Now, I took every minute I possibly could not to talk about something because I said to myself and to the team on Friday, I'm not talking about Aaron Rodgers until something happens.
Yep. Yeah.
Then I literally said,
Mm-hmm.
I say, hey, listen, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. Nothing new's happening. Recycled information is now becoming breaking news yet again. I think at this point, we're done with it. Then Mark Murphy has to go do a stand-up set.
Yeah, right.
Okay, has to go do a stand-up set and says, you know, as great Ted Thompson once said, Aaron Rodgers is the worst. Yeah. He didn't say that exactly, but I mean, for a guy who's a president of a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar operation that is publicly funded, basically, I mean, the lack of being able to read a room by calling Aaron a complicated fellow, which, by the way, I'm not saying that's a massive... I'm not saying that's like a haymaker shot,
no.
But just in the world that we're in, we're trying to get a fucking resolution to this situation. We are as a show, NFL fans are as a whole. Other teams are probably trying to figure out, can we get Aaron Rodgers or can we not get Aaron Rodgers? Then I guess there's some teams that are like, we don't want Aaron to control the narrative and this become the NBA. We'll talk about that later. Joining us now, a man who we have not gotten his opinion on this entire thing, but to hopefully explain to us how and why this whole thing happened, like he does every single day, every single night on ESPN, all football season. Ladies and gentlemen, father of 10, Dahn Orslowski.
Yay!
What's up, boys? What's going on?
What are you doing, man? You've been on vacation for like 2-3 months. Haven't seen him on TV forever. What have you been up to?
I was on TV 4 days ago. I'm on TV in 2 days, so that's a completely false statement. I've been chilling, just hanging some family time, coaching my kids in lacrosse and baseball, cussing them out when they don't do the things I want, so it's been good.
Hey, listen, you need to fudge and throw the twine a little bit harder. Is that what you say over there in lacrosse practice? You need Uncle Pat to come in? I've been learning a lot about the old
My son
twiddle
is
sticks.
obsessed. I actually just got done dropping off lacrosse shirts to his team while the kids are at school. My son is obsessed with the sport, man. Obsessed, so.
Hey, sport of the future. Sport of the future. I think it's going to happen.
If you can come coach them, you're hired.
Well, we'll see how the schedule works. I was saying that hopefully that you were saying no because I know nothing about the sport, but I appreciate you being a good dad. Good dad out there, Dano, especially in the middle of everything else you got going on, like being the expert on all things quarterbacks in the world of ESPN and the NFL world. Dan, the Mark Murphy thing, methinks, okay, your tweet, man. Methinks, okay, very similar to how you thinks right now, I think. How do you view this whole thing with Aaron and Mark at this point? And everybody keeps saying Gutekunst, and we've been saying, hey, there's a couple people I think that we're potentially leaving out in this whole how everything gets handled situation. What are your thoughts, Dan? And how does this end, you think?
Yeah, over the weekend, my brain kept going to Jim Harbaugh. And I remember, like, Jim Harbaugh, the head coach of the 49ers, when they had their 4-year run or 5-year run where they were unbelievable, and he was with Cap, and, you know, they went to a couple NFC championship games and obviously a Super Bowl. And then I remember, like, them, you know, there was the reports that the 49ers wanted to move on from Harbaugh. And I just remember going back and thinking to myself, like, why would you want to move on from a coach that's been that good? And everyone was like, well, he's really hard to deal with, or people don't get along with him, or this and that. And that's all my brain went to this weekend with Mark Murphy making his comments, because first of all, to say that Aaron is a complicated fella, let's break that down. So you mean to tell me that the guy that was overlooked in high school recruiting, then the guy that was overlooked after he went to JUCO college, then the guy that was overlooked in college, then the guy that was overlooked in the NFL draft, he's got a little bit of stuff to him that you don't like now that he's gotten an incredible amount of – no duh.
No doy, dude.
Like, you don't do all of that unless you are a complicated person that is wired very, very, very uniquely. And I know a lot of people that aren't complicated. I was one of them. That's why I was a backup for 12 years. Like, that's just the truth of it. And so it seems and it sounds like the Packers front office can tell us everything that we want to hear about. We want to do everything we can to bring Aaron Rodgers back, and we're going to attack it every single day. No, you're not. You're not.
You're not, dude.
Because whether you consider complicated fella to have a negative connotation or not, it's not a positive one.
Yeah.
It's not uplifting, like, hey, we need this guy back because he's our Super Bowl caliber quarterback. So I just think that the front office is done. I just think the front office doesn't want Aaron Rodgers around anymore, just as much as it sounds Aaron doesn't want to be there.
To follow up on your complicated point, to be a human that has accomplished what he has, and basically amongst all football people, the most talented quarterback in the history of football. Right. He's an alien. He's unique. If you could consider how he got there or how he became that guy, one of the GOATs, like, I guess that could be complicated, because if we could figure that out, I guess we'd put it in a bottle. And we would just go ahead and give it to everybody. But whenever you do say stuff like that, and you do think like, oh, this, and this is he didn't say it. It kind of got taken out of context. But as soon as he said it, he knew it was going to get taken out of context, especially in the position he's at, where it's like this Aaron situation is, splitting our fan base or whatever. And then now he's a complicated fella. It's like he's doing this on purpose. He has to. If not, he shouldn't be.
This guy's the president of the Green Bay Packers. I know, because of my past with the broadcast boot camp that I did, that those people that are in those prominent roles constantly get public speaking coaching, like the way to speak to certain groups, things to focus on. Like, those guys, they've been publicly speaking for 2 decades. He knows exactly what he's doing. That wasn't a slip up, nor was the division of the fan base a slip up. He's being very tactical, just like Aaron is very smart with the way that he comes out and says things. Mark Murphy's trying to be just as smart with the way he is saying things. And all I know is this, dude, at the end of the day, you alienating your quarterback, now having his teammates completely go out and publicly support him, it does absolutely nothing to benefit your organization or progress the potential of him coming back.
Are we too late now, though? What do we think? Because it depends on the day on who's reporting what, to be honest. Aaron Rodgers is strong as hell in how he feels. And then the next day it's like, they're not going to trade him. So then the next day it's like, they should have a year where they just say, hey, one more year, one more time, and then that'll set us up, that sets you up, that whole thing. And now it's at this point, how do you see them coming to an arrangement? I don't know. And we're getting close here now, and not soon enough. The season doesn't start soon enough, but it starts soon. I mean, there it is. You know what I mean? How does this end, you think, Dan?
Yeah, I said this last week. Like, at some point, when does Green Bay focus on football? Because they're the only team in the NFL that hasn't had the opportunity to focus on football. I think the only way that that Aaron goes back, there's 2 ways that I think Aaron, because my mind has changed a little bit now that we've got to the middle of June. There's 2 ways that my mind sit there and says Aaron plays for the Packers this year. He just doesn't want to give up $30+ million by sitting out. And I don't know where he is with that, or if it's not something he would do, but if he doesn't want to do that, that's obvious. Or 2, and I kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago, his agent David Dahn. Like, what happens if his agent David Dahn goes back to Aaron and says, hey, the only team that is going to give up enough that Green Bay is going to consider this trade is the Las Vegas Raiders? Because then Aaron has to, I would imagine, sit back and go, all right, as much as I dislike some of the people that are here, I'm not winning a Super Bowl in the next 2 or 3 years with that defense in Las Vegas. So, like, does he want to get out at all costs, above all things, and no matter what the destination is? Or does he want to go out to a place that, listen, he's got a shot to win the Super Bowl, and that's not in Las Vegas. I do think he has it in Denver. So I think those would be the only 2 ways that Aaron actually goes and says, all right, I'll stick around for another year.
Dan, I think a lot of teams would be interested if they find out Aaron's potentially on the move, though, don't you think?
Well, this goes back to this. Do you have the capital to give it up to Green Bay? And do you have a young player at the position that you really believe has a super bright future? Because again, if you're the Cleveland Browns, sure, every team wants Aaron Rodgers, but is it worth giving up those potentially 3 first-round picks and likely moving on from Baker Mayfield? If you're, I would say that's a tough pill to swallow if you're Cleveland after finally building it up. The Miami Dolphins, are you going to give up all that and move on from Tua? Like, that's the team that I could sit there and says has a young, promising quarterback. But if you had the chance to give up 3 ones and move on from that young quarterback, they should very much so entertain doing it because they're a Super Bowl contender with them. The Denver Broncos are obviously a home run. So I think that, like, there's a lot of variables attached to it other than, man, we want Aaron Rodgers.
Did you say Miami Super Bowl? I think any team with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback is in a conversation for winning whatever.
I just don't see it like that. Again, I'll go back to the Raiders, not with that defense.
What about Miami?
Yeah, they're a Super Bowl contender with Aaron, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. With that defense and those
Calvin
weapons
Noy's
offensively that they got, they are a Super Bowl contender with Aaron.
Hey,
Absolutely.
people need to start paying more attention to the Dolphins, you think? Because what if Tua, you kind of said he stinks, but what if Tua, who was at 60%, you kind of said that, what if Tua, who was at 60% or whatever last year, if he comes out and has a very, very, very good year, you think the Dolphins are going to surprise some people this year?
Oh, yeah. I think that's the best division. I think that's one of the top 2 or 3 divisions in football. With that defense, like, here's the thing. They got 2 tight ends that are really good in Miami. They have 3 offensive linemen that were top 4 draft picks or 4 first-round draft picks that all were rookies last year. So, like, that offensive line is going to be massively improved. The addition of Waddle, the addition of Will Fuller, will he stay healthy? Big question marks. I love their 2 tight ends. I think they're really well coached. Their defense gives up, 17 a game, 20 a game. Like, Tua is set up to play really, really good football. The Dolphins should be very good this year.
Hey, they got rid of Kyle Van Noy. They made some changes on that defensive side. I didn't know that it was a this year type run for the Dolphins. I had not looked into them enough. Hey, good for Gumpy. Hey, go Fins.
Right. Fins up.
Hey, Fins up, pal. Go ahead, Ty.
Dan, given everything with Aaron going on, if he doesn't come back, what is a realistic expectation for the Packers this year with Jordan Love? I assume you've watched, more tape on him than most people.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people saying that they'll still go to the playoffs if they have Jordan Love. You think that's the case?
I don't see them as a playoff football team, but they're definitely the right situation to break in a young, inexperienced quarterback. Top 5 offensive line, top 5 run game, number 1 receiver, runaway number 1, but one of the best in the league. Couple of good variable pieces in an improving defense and a really good play caller. So, like, they're not going to fall off and become a team that wins 3 or 4 football games. I think they're a team that probably flirts around 500 or so. What are they? 7 and 10, right? 7 and 10, maybe 8 and 9 type of football team. I have said this. Jordan Love is the first quarterback since 2005 that was drafted in the first round that didn't start a football game last year. So, nor did they even think he was capable, ready, or good enough to be their backup. So, the reports of him still struggling with accuracy in training or OTAs and minicamp, those are concerning to me because it only gets harder. Like, I should be accurate when I'm in shorts and can't get hit. Once I know that people can hit me, I play a little bit more
Dan.
I'm about to get my head taken off, so my accuracy doesn't, it doesn't get better, it gets worse. So
Dan.
Yeah.
Dan, Jordan Love had a terrible day 1 allegedly, and then day 2 had a good day. Should he be having terrible days if he's going to be good, or does that happen to everybody?
No, I think you have terrible. I think there's different terrible days. I remember years ago, I think it was Patrick's first year going into a start, and he threw 6 interceptions one practice, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh!" But once you understand, as a young quarterback, you're just trying to figure things out. Okay, can I rip this whole shot when I stare to the left 45 yards downfield? There's a difference between struggling and still having accuracy issues, at least in my opinion. When you're still showing accuracy issues, that's concerning when you're throwing routes on air, throwing one-on-ones, and throwing in shorts when you're not getting hit. Struggling with that is different than, we had a couple rough periods. Because, that's when you're learning an offense. That's when you're figuring out how progressions work versus different coverages. That's when you're testing the boundaries, so to speak. So there's different levels or different variables of struggling. And that's why I go back. Again, I don't think Jordan Love, I remember breaking down tape on Get Up, and everyone was like, talented. I said, talented. there are accuracy concerns. And I remember making the point of Josh Allen did not have accuracy concerns at Wyoming. That was a completely misrepresented, blown out thing. Jordan Love at Utah State did. So to continue to still have the accuracy issues, yes, that's concerning to me.
All right, so I've been told by people that you can't fix that. Can you fix that? That's not that. I heard like if you're an accurate thrower, you're an accurate thrower. If you're not, you're not. Like,
yeah.
Is that because?
And I think you can incrementally, slightly improve it. I don't know anybody, and I've been around the game for a long time. I don't know anybody who's gone from inaccurate to becoming accurate. Like have guys.
See, that's what I have heard as well. Right. Like you're the next person to tell me that, because I've heard that a couple times in the past. Because as quarterbacks come into the building, whether they're going to be backups or whatever, and they'll show it, and somebody will just like, I don't want to say airmail one, but obvious miss. They'll be like, oh yeah, that ain't.
I think you can incrementally improve it. I do. You can get a little bit better at it, but I mean, we're talking about a guy that's been throwing a certain way and a certain style physically for 12 plus years. That was a bad ball.
No, it wasn't. It was fucking Dahn. I had to follow through in the pocket. And I got my hand hit in the pocket like a Cam Newton in training camp or a mini camp up with the Patriots. What are you even talking?
Taught you better in 2011 on the sidelines when we were cheering guys on.
I had passes before that.
So I don't think you can get. I just don't believe. I've never seen a guy go from something to something he isn't.
So he stinks. Go ahead, Connor.
Endorsement.
Danny, what are you hearing about Mac Jones, and do you think that he will play this year or no?
I love that you just called me Danny. Our relationship just went to a little bit of a different level.
Well, then he mocked you for the me's think thing. Yeah, he did. Yeah. That's why he said yous think. Yeah, he did. He tried to sneak it in.
I don't know.
Yeah, he tried to sneak it in there.
1 step forward, 2 steps back kind of guy.
Can't win with it.
I haven't heard a ton about Mac. I think the Patriots situation is always a unique one where it's like we're going to give you weird numbers and we're not going to really give you the chance to win the job until we want to give you a chance to win the job. And, so they obviously do things a little bit differently. I think that Mac Jones starts week 1.
Whoa. Off of what information?
What?
Just your feeling, your gut instinct,
Yeah, I believe all 5 rookie quarterbacks start week 1. I think they should. I think Mac Jones starts week 1 because Jimmy
G.
Why would you start Jimmy G?
Okay, all right, go back to Mac Jones.
I think that New England is going to go completely 30 years back in football. I think they're going to go absolutely pound the rock, and they're going to be really good offensively, top 5 offensive line. They've got really good backs. I think they're going to ask their quarterbacks to kind of do the least amount out of most guys in the NFL. And it's going to become about third down passing in New England. And to do that really well, you got to have 2 things. You got to be able to absolutely own protection at the line of scrimmage. Who's hot, who's not, where's the blitz coming, send the offensive line back. You got all that stuff. And then you got to have remarkable ball placement. And I think those are 2 things that Mac Jones will excel at. And I think that for those reasons, he's going to be their starter.
All right. Well, Dan, every time I get to hear you speak, I feel like I get smarter. I appreciate you coming out of your vacation from being a lacrosse coach and giving us some great stuff, Dan. I appreciate you.
You're the man. I hope you guys are well. You look great, bud.
Thank you. I've been intermittent fasting and spray tanning. So. Huh?
How's the intermittent fasting going? Have you lost some lbs?
Yeah, I don't get on a scale because I don't like a number to decide how I'm doing, but I have lost a lot visually, I believe.
Yeah, my wife is laughing at the spray tan thing, by the way. So,
hey,
you look great.
Tell her I said hello. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry for interrupting in the family. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our fault. You guys are probably doing romantic stuff. The kids are all at school. Dan, I appreciate your dedication, pal.
We were dropping off T-shirts.
Oh, bro. Yeah, I forgot.
You like my saying, bud?
What is it?
This is what I yell at kids all the time on the lacrosse field.
Celebrate with your teammates.
Hell yeah.
Hey, they need it.
McAfee.
Hey, you too, Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan. Hey, it sends a message to the other team.
That's right.
When you celebrate with your teammates. Mm-hmm. We're happy we did what we just did. We want to do it again. We've been working for this, and we don't like you. It's a great message.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick does a full film breakdown on it. Look what this is doing to this team. It's awesome. We're back in 4 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Touchdown and error is its second.
Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it. Yeah. Okay, so let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No.
And you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack a little.
No,
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were.
Oh, yeah.
When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you died. With your
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course, they're going to play this one up. They're going to make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like, you never thought, like, oh, football isn't for me. Like, there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore. Or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those moments.
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And the community seems amazing. The fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Shady Race. Not those ones.
What about these?
No, those ones. Yeah. Shady Rays never understood why sunglasses were so damn expensive, so they set out to change it. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company, so they do things their way. Something that is very rare in that industry.
It is.
Right. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades at a fraction of the price of the big name bullshit brands. Stop overpaying for sunglasses that you're too afraid to get dirty. Save your dollars and gain peace of mind with the best and most affordable shades for the outdoors. The best part about Shady Rays, they have the craziest warranty in all of eyewear. Lost and broken replacements. That's right. If you lose or break your shades on day one, they told us that they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wow. Dropped in the lake? What? Ocean? What? Sat on them? What? Lost them? What? Anything, they'll replace them. Every pair of Shady Rays is guaranteed for life, so take on your next adventure with the team that has your back. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed and have donated over 15 million meals to date. Wow. Change the way you wear sunglasses and give Shady Rays a risk-free shot exclusively for viewers and listeners of this show. Shady Rays is running the biggest deal of the season. Use code McAfee, MCAFE, for 50% off 2 or more pairs at ShadyRays.com. Buy one, get one free. BOGO at ShadyRays.com. SHADY Rays.com. When you use code McAfee, get a little BOGO.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's go. Shout out to Shady Rays. Shout out to you for listening. Welcome back to the show. Jarvis Landry had what seemed to be one of the most electric charity softball events I've ever seen in my entire life in Cleveland this weekend. Travis Kelce was there. Baker Mayfield was there hitting dongs. Mm-hmm. He looked down a couple pitches. Let me see where these things are. Okay, let me take a yard. Didn't see anybody in the field or any bases. Was it a home run derby?
It must have been, yeah.
And I saw Jarvis hit a couple dongs out there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looked electrifying. He had a media scrum either before or afterwards to bring probably attention to the incredible event that he had just put together for his foundation, I believe. So shout out for doing that, by the way. Things that were said in said media scrum, though, have made some ripples. And I believe, what he said was a classic situation. So Joe Flacco. Okay. Yes. So Joe Flacco was asked if he thought he was an elite quarterback. This is after he won a Super Bowl and after the Ravens paid him over $100 million in contracts. Mm-hmm. Do you believe you're an elite quarterback? Joe Flacco said yes. So then all of a sudden, bang, Joe Flacco thinks he's an elite quarterback. What the fuck was Joe Flacco supposed to say?
Come on.
Joe Flacco, are you an elite quarterback? I have won a Super Bowl. They just paid me 9 figures to play the game, but I look around and I wonder why they're paying me too. Imagine if Joe Flacco said that. What would happen to every Ravens fan? Ravens fans would be like, of course, this is our fucking quarterback. Mm-hmm. He comes out and says yes to a question on whether or not he thinks he's elite. He's confident. You have to be an NFL quarterback, especially. Then all of a sudden it's, this guy thinks he's fucking elite. Wow. It is literally a situation where it's I guess he could have done I let other people do the judgment of things. I just try to play the best football I could possibly play. But then you are literally the most boring human of all time, right? Which is also what you get made fun of for being Joe Flacco anyway. So it was a no-win situation. Jarvis Landry's asked how he thinks or what are expectations for the Cleveland Browns this year. This comes, by the way, after they win their first playoff game in a long time against the Steelers, team that's in their division that is, been obviously their rival forever, but now just in the division play, somebody that has stopped them from getting to the playoffs for a long, long time now. Long, long time. And their team adds Odell Beckham Jr. So Jarvis Landry is asked what the standard is, and he gives out one of the best quotes I have heard in a long time, by the way. Now, this quote leads to people saying, Jarvis Landry thinks they can win the Super Bowl or whatever. It's like, what do you want the guy to say? So he said, people always say you should not talk about it. But nobody trains and nobody do what they do to not be a champion. Think about that, though. That's an incredible quote right there out of Jarvis. Nobody's training to not be a champion. We're not supposed to talk about it. So that's the standard. We haven't made it there yet. Every team set out, 32 teams set out at this time of year or any point. They drafted teams to be a championship team. They signed free agents to be a championship team. So why not talk about it? It's real. This comes after Patrick Mahomes basically either was asked or talked about going undefeated. Tom Brady was asked about going undefeated, said that was the one I wish I could get back. And you listen to Joe Thomas talk whenever he was on the Browns. One of the years they won 0-16, actually, one of the only 2 teams in the history of the league to do so. He said, the Lions being the other one, he said, I thought we were going to win every year. Yeah. Every game I thought we were going to win. You have to. So asking Jarvis Landry, a man who is a passionate, competitive, leader of that team, like, hey, do you think you have a championship team? What's he supposed to say? No? And then what did everybody else do? Oh, Jarvis doesn't believe in us? Fuck you, Jarvis. We've been working our asses off. I just feel like these situations cause ripple effects where people get judged for saying what they're saying. Like, is he speaking out of pocket when he's saying this? It's like he's giving the only answer that he can actually give. And probably, by the way, his real answer, too.
Right.
Let's go and get it. Everybody's trying to win a fucking Super Bowl. That's what everybody's trying to do. Conversation over.
Yes.
Hour one's wrapping up. Hour two, 1-833-4-McAfee. Big thanks to Orlovsky for joining us in the first hour. AJ Hawk and maybe a surprise guest join us in the second hour. We can't wait to see you. We'll see you in 6 minutes. Cheers.
For 15 seconds before I hit the anvil. I've been trying to time myself out for 15 seconds. I've never spoken for 15 seconds before. There's no chance. It's a new era for Colts football. All right, let's go. You're all badasses. Thank you all for your service. Have an incredible day out there. It's the safest place in America right now. Holy hell. All right, everybody smile. You're probably not supposed to. Hey, safe travels. We appreciate the hell out of all of you. Go kick ass. Hoo-ah. Hey, the best game in the history of the drumline is going to be today. You guys are going to steal the show and set the How's it going? My name's Pat. I swing a big hammer, and when I talk, people listen. A long fucking day. So I had to switch it to damn. When I get going like that, it really catches. Hey, big cold swing today, huh? Another week about to start, Foxy. Triple H texted me, said he enjoyed it. Nice. He said if anybody's making fun of you for the size of your hammer, just tell them it's not the size, it's how you swing it.
Today's event is me versus a Carolina Reaper pepper. A pepper that has what?
2.2 million Scoville on average. I think it's pretty much the hottest pepper in the world.
In comparison, a jalapeno is
6,000 Scoville.
For every second after it is in my mouth, I don't grab this milk. Yeah. We'll give $25 to a random person in the comment section right now. $4,500 feels like a good amount to give away, though. And that'd be 3 minutes. This is going to be a long 3 minutes.
That's redder than devil's dick. That crunch. How we doing so far? Doesn't look too bad.
I should have taken a drink of water beforehand, though, because I think I had a dry mouth. I had a little cotton mouth.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Once the hiccups start, I think you're just about done for. What's your biggest regret in life? Do you have 2 more minutes in you?
I think it's just starting to hit like the peak. The curve on this thing is just starting to go up.
You are handling this much better than Bill did, though. You are. Yeah, Billy Tubes was puking 10 seconds in. 130. 130.
It's burning my esophagus.
Do you feel like you're going to puke?
Oh, I do.
And that milk looks ice cold, too.
No!
Beer that broke my heart. Hey, one more.
I'm getting lightheaded now. 25 more seconds of this here?
Yep. Now we go. Now we go.
Oh my God.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dance with me.
How you feel now?
A little bit better, but not great. Oh my God. That's a bad idea. I need more. I need more milk. Oh God, God. Yikes.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is hour 2 on this Monday, June 14th, 2021. This hour is better than the last hour, not because Dan Orlovsky was in the last hour. He's always great.
Oh, yeah.
But this hour is better than the last hour because joining us right now in studio is a man who is titled and billed as such the greatest soccer gambler on earth.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who hosts a show called Hammer Dahn every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. Gumpy joining us right now. Gumpy, you were the one that told us, hey, this Euros thing is a big deal. Not your fault that none of us were really interested and couldn't find time to invest in the games. We tried. I think we all tried. Numerous games. Tried to support numerous games. Tried my best. Can't do it. Don't know who anybody is. That whole thing. But with that being said, did you find it as ironic as we did that you co-host a gambling show with a man named the COVID Cowboy, Tone Diggs?
Tony.
Hammered down, 4 o'clock every day. You are literally the greatest soccer gambler on earth. And in a tournament that you introduced to us, basically, a tournament that you were excited for, the second biggest thing in the soccer world outside of the World Cup, you said these words, not us.
True.
Your co-host Diggs, in the first game of that tournament said, I'm fucking fading him. Not only am I fading him, okay, I'm also fading the country I fight for every single day. Is there a little bit of dissension among the ranks? The fact that the COVID Cowboy, up on his degenerate horse, decided to turn at the greatest soccer gambler of all time and spit on him in the first game, and then rightfully fall off his horse and get trampled on by losing the bet. Is there a little bit of dissension here on Hammer Down, Gumpy? Is everything all right?
No, I mean, when Tony went against his own roots, his heritage.
You knew.
I mean, what does he care about me?
Yeah, you're right.
Turned his back on the Italians. That's what I was more worried about.
Let's talk about the weekend, though, Gumpy. Okay, was this a good weekend in the soccer world? You loved it this weekend.
Awesome. I mean, that Netherlands-Ukraine game yesterday.
See?
Hell yeah.
Couldn't find it.
What time slot was that?
Inside of me, I couldn't find it whenever I turned it on. I like the Netherlands. They ice skate to work.
What?
Yeah.
kidding.
In Amsterdam.
Down the channels.
In Amsterdam, they ice skate. Amsterdam's part of Netherlands, right?
Yeah.
Which is also Dutch.
Yes.
Which is also Holland.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're all those same things?
Wow.
Okay, so I think I like them, the country with the most names, but also they ice skate to work down the canals and stuff like that. That seems like a great team to pull for on the pitch. They beat the shit out of that other team, you said?
So their coach, Frank de Boer, failed at Atlanta in MLS, failed at Crystal Palace. Everybody hates him. They're up 2-0. He takes off 2 of their best defenders.
Oh,
Come on.
guy.
Ukraine comes back, scores 2 blinders.
Frank! Hey, DeBoer! Okay, you need to do less, pal.
Netherlands scored 1 to win it at the end, so we cashed that winner, but that was the best game of the tournament by far.
Okay, so that takes me to my next point.
Yeah.
That guy stunk in Atlanta.
So, yeah.
Okay, now he's coaching this team.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of teams this weekend that the United States team could fucking ragdoll if they wanted to.
Yep.
Just absolutely ragdoll. We could go in there and win that thing. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, it's coming home. I've never been more sure. You watched that.
They stole that. Sterling almost broke his leg on that goal, pal.
They could have had 3 in the first 10 minutes. They were buzzing. They didn't even have 2 of their best players. This England team, first time they've ever won the opener at Euros.
How come nobody's playing their best players, by the way, if this thing actually matters? Every other day I see a tweet out of you saying, oh, this fucking team's not playing this fucking guy because of these fucking reasons.
These guys play so much. I mean, they never
This
stop.
is the Euros.
For the
country. The Concava Cup. Did you see Reyna sitting out? No. Did you see Pulisic sitting out? No. These dudes are playing over there in Dortmund and Chelsea and everything over there. They're playing just as much. Hey, I'll tell you what, the old garden soccer, getting too complacent.
That's right.
Getting too comfortable.
Let's show the CONCACAF some respect here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But we came up with a pretty good nickname.
The CONCACAF is the premier tournament in the world. I think the World Cup has to, they're on notice now at this point.
Well, listen, the World Cup has a trophy that's worth $20 million, I learned
Holy
this weekend.
shit.
Yeah, because when we did our little trophy thing, the little trophy off, and Nick put out a poll of just 4 on the poll, from my...
Let's be honest.
From my Twitter
We're talking
account.
4 major American sports.
This is Nick talking. That's Nick talking. Nick, he wanted a big poll, though. Haven't had a poll in a while. Nick wanted some action. Nick puts that out on my Twitter, just the 4 there. All weekend, I was bombarded with facts and stats about trophies from all over the globe.
You live in India. How can't you have the board warrior?
I heard that call. Pat's like, hey, just maybe do that from your Twitter next time.
I'll retweet your poll.
Hey, who won that poll?
I believe it was a Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Stanley Cup, wasn't it? Congrats to Nick. But the World Cup's like $20 million or whatever.
Damn.
I don't know what these Euros are getting, but I do know the Concava, they got a big old... Hey, you remember?
Massive cup.
It was a big moment, so it's coming home to a place it's never been.
Nothing gets people riled up quite like it's coming home.
Why?
People hate the English. It's the best.
Really? See, all I see is people like...
It's very split. Like it's either you're all in or they hate it.
Oh, the only reason why I see it, though, by the way, is because my timeline is only littered with soccer stuff from Gumpy. And Gumpy is very much like, hey,
It's coming
I've
home.
paid taxes to that queen my entire life. I'm also staying home, too. That whole thing whenever it comes here. Thank you for updating on what's another good game that we should potentially maybe be invested in? France?
Spain, Sweden should be interesting today.
Okay.
Spain has some players out with
I mean,
COVID.
it's just
When's Mbappe playing?
I mean, Portugal with Ronaldo. Portugal's going tomorrow, and then you got Germany, France, which is the biggest game of the tournament so
When's
far
that?
tomorrow.
What time?
I think it's not the early one. I think it's noon.
Okay, here we go. Little watch along. Okay.
Now we
Big
go.
soccer show tomorrow. Joining us now is a man who won't be with us for the back half of this week, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, it's charity. That charity thing is a charity thing he's going to go to. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, AJ Hall. AJ, did you watch any of the Euros? I wanted to do that conversation before you got on because I assumed you saw none of it. Did you?
I mean, you couldn't hear me. I was trying to jump in and give my input on all those games that happened. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just saying bad timing that we're past it, or do you want to revisit some games or not?
I mean, bad timing. We're probably past it. I think there's a lot of football stuff out there.
Let's talk about it. I mean, we talked about it in the first hour, and I want to let you know because you weren't in the room whenever I said it, but on Friday I made a promise to me. Hey, I'm going to do this. I'm not talking about Aaron anymore, okay? I'm not talking about Miles Teller. I ain't talking about even Hawaii anymore. I ain't talking about Aaron anymore. And by the way, guess what? Packers. I'm not talking Packers anymore because I felt like we were doing everybody a disservice by continuing to talk about something that had no new information in it. None. Recycled information was becoming breaking news on the situation. And I think the only reason why many of us that listen to this show or watch this show knew that it was recycled information that was being, kind of led and titled as breaking information. I think I got to the point where I was like, I'm done with it. Until something happens, I'm fucking done with it. I don't want to talk about it. And then Mark Murphy goes ahead and I described it as a bit and a stand-up and a set. And I'm only saying that because Mark had to think about this whenever he was going to talk about Aaron. He knew he was going to be asked about it. He knew he was going to have to talk about it. And I assume he knew what the backlash or what the altercation or ripple effect of what he said was going to happen. Whenever Mark Murphy says that your friend, AJ Hawk, a guy that you were in the photos with your busted up hands at the Kentucky Derby, is called a complicated fellow. What is your first reaction? And how is Mark Murphy this kind of oblivious to reading of a room? Or is this on purpose? Like a lot of people are saying, well, it's because Mark knows it's over and he's gone, blah, blah, blah. Then there's other people who are like, he didn't mean it in an offensive way. There's no way Aaron should have felt offended. It's like, what the fuck is this? And why are we talking about this again? And it's because this is a big deal all of a sudden.
Well, I guess too, like Murphy, it sounded like within the room, like the context of the conversation, he kind of brought it up out of nowhere. He didn't really need to respond about Aaron, I guess, when this happened, but he didn't even say it. It's Ted Thompson, the GM.
Whoa. So hold on. So what was being asked?
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I've heard that he kind of jammed it in. He didn't he wasn't asked directly about
Aaron. These guys.
What?
Like these guys. You're telling me that Mark Murphy's like, yeah, I got some shit to say. What's the first question? All right, Ted used to tell me that these guys like Aaron are just complicated. He used to say it all the time. So, you got any follow-up questions now? Like, is that what he did? Is that what you're?
I don't know. I could be completely off, but that's what I've heard. I don't know what the meeting was. Was it with the shareholders?
So now it's even.
building.
Now, this was a planted statement by Mark Murphy to maybe set how they feel and maybe to win back the fan base in this PR war that has become very, very, very P in the PR. What do you have?
I would say we're talking about the last couple of weeks, how Packers fans feel. Whose side are they on? I feel like this statement makes them go completely back to Aaron Rodgers' side.
But he thought.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Yeah, which is cool.
Or maybe he said, you know what, I'll be the bad guy in this. Make Aaron look good.
He's Herb Brooks.
Villain.
He's good cop, bad cop here with Aaron. Listen, we kind of got ourselves into something here. I'll come out, be the asshole. You come around, good storyline. You know what I mean? You skip that thing, we won't find you. We didn't get better at football at all during the OTAs because you weren't here. But we'll just kind of, I'll be bad guy, you be good guy. We'll come in, celebrate how we doing, keep it moving, and you're back. Is that?
I suppose it's possible.
Is that what Mark Murphy's thinking, or why is he? Why is he doing? Does he have to do these speaking engagements? I assume as the president, he has obligations to go speak at different groups. Is that what this is? So he has to talk about it?
Yeah, and I guess when I said I'm not sure how he jammed this in, but yeah, he has to do public speaking things. He has to answer to shareholders and things when they ask him questions. It's not like he tweeted this. Now, if he would have just came out of nowhere and tweeted or just put it out on his social media, this statement about
where
the complicated fellow, then it would be even worse.
This is at a meeting? This was a private conversation?
I mean, there's a picture of him at a podium, so I don't know. I don't think it's completely private.
Was this like when Ben Roethlisberger was telling?
The testimony.
Yeah. And he didn't expect it to get out of that Zoom. And guess what? Zoomed out of the Zoom. The story of how he found the Lord.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That got out before he was even done with his testimony.
Yeah. It was everywhere.
Schefter had that out before. Is that what happened? Did he think he was potentially in a safe space and he thought he was just having an inside conversation and then all of a sudden...
He's smart enough to know. Don't you think he's smart enough to know?
I don't know.
So that's what we've been saying. He is smart enough to know. He's the president of the Packers, so he knows.
No. I'm saying he's smart enough to know that there's no, anything that he says will most likely get out, even if there's not someone standing there with a recorder in front of him.
Exactly. So he has to know that. He has to know what that's going to lead to conversationally. So is Moz, because I think Moz Yano on ESPN this morning said, the Packers know what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. This is just the tip of the iceberg. They're out. I don't know if Moz was directly saying they were out, but pretty much. I mean, he was alluding to it. And then other people were like, yeah, they're definitely out on this whole thing now. Is that the new Is Mark Murphy?
What do you mean out as in what?
Like they're out on Aaron.
Yeah.
Like
they're saying they're just going to sit there and stand pat. They're not going to trade him. They're not saying that.
Yeah, nobody has said that. Nobody has said the story was actually they're not. He's going to have to, or he's going to lose out on $30 million. He's going to have to He's going to have to come back. But now the report is Mark and everybody back there, they're done with Aaron, basically. Wasn't that kind of, that was kind of like the report, right? I tried to listen to it a few times to kind of hear it. It was like, what is he saying? Was he not saying? And I don't know who knows what and who's talking to who at this point. Seems like there's a chance maybe the Packers people who said, like, we don't talk about this publicly. They're talking to a lot of people, it sounds like, potentially about the whole thing, which is fascinating to me because Aaron hasn't really said a word publicly, right?
No.
Not at all, which we have actually been like, hey, fuck, can you give us something? And I guess he has not, because I assume, and I don't know, you might know this better than I do, like there's some real shit going on, so it's like now is not the time to make any public statements. Did Mark Murphy say we're not going to talk about, did somebody say we're not talking publicly? Is that
last time when Mark Murphy, was it when he said this, the fan base was split? I think that's when he said, I think it's better that we neither side speak publicly.
Yeah.
As we're gathered here today, he said at that podium, you know, just weeks after writing a memo to everybody, I'd like to let you know what I had said then does not reign true now. Aaron is a fucking problem. Just like I said to Aaron when Matt LaFleur got hired, don't be the problem, okay? Just like I said, now it's, hey, this guy, he's complicated, you know? Hey, we don't fucking help him. He hates us. We kind of just ride his coattails to success and act like we're the smartest people on earth. We don't really do much in return. We give him fucking money. Isn't that enough? Hey, shut up and just fucking make us all rich, pal. Make us all successful. Make all of our resumes look much better than they probably should. He's a complicated guy. Shouldn't he just shut the fuck up and take it? This is a complicated situation. Listen, we have, told this guy a lot of things. We told him kind of, hey, you play football. Just shut the fuck up.
Pipe down.
All right? You shut the fuck up. We told him after he said, hey, I'd like this guy to be my wide receiver. We told him real quick, didn't we? Hey. In that contract you play football. Guess what I do? I cut motherfuckers. Like Kumaro, see ya. You liked him yesterday? He is gone, pal. All right, remember what we said. We're all going to get successful here. Remember, all of our resumes are going to go good. It's a fucking complicated situation, man. What's the deal? It's not complicated at all. We make the decisions. You make us look good. Shut the fuck up. We'll do our thing. Here we go. Let's move along. I guess that could be complicated if you're Mark Murphy.
Well, and to your point about Maz, I think he kind of made it seem like, and I don't know if like you said, he wrote this or he was reporting on something else, but it sounded like they were out on him both business-wise and like personally. Like they had no interest in fixing the situation. So if that's the case, they
trade him.
Well, but they said they're not going to trade him. So if they do they just wait until he?
Did something happen in the last couple of days that made Mark Murphy go, all right, we're done. We are.
I don't think they're done. I don't know why Maz is saying, like, if you're saying if they're truly done with him, then they would trade him. They'd be like, all right, then we need to make our team. Let's get 55 draft picks for this guy then.
Yeah.
Because that whole, like, hey, give us one more year narrative, like, there's no way he's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to give you one more year of my career on, the back nine.
Hey, you're right. Yeah, let's do it one more. Hey, one more time, huh?
Yeah.
Like the good old days.
It's like Jeter on his last year. Every away game I go to, they'll present me with something before the game, all that. It'd be fun.
Hey, Jeter, that had to be, how many, 162 games?
Oh, yeah.
And every single one.
I mean, there was a lot of hat tipping, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's a long time.
Some gifts, from teams.
That had to be uncomfortable for
Coach
Jeter.
Coach K is going to one-up that this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jeter didn't want it. Coach K is going to welcome it.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're doing a podium at center court before every game so Coach K can address, the fan base.
Every fan base.
Yeah, that's right.
Fan bases. Me's think.
Yeah, me thinks.
Imagine Coach K cutting a promo before every game. They roll into UNC or wherever the hell they play at. There's a podium for Coach K to coach up the student section. The whole thing. Him cutting a promo and people just burying him. Coach K, legend. Hey, absolute legendary.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary career.
Great work, Coach.
He's going to walk out the Cascada the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I love hearing that song. I love hearing that song. Saw him dancing. It's great to see people. He was mesmerized by that song.
Oh, yeah.
The whole place. I mean, they were raising the roof. It was awesome, dude. The Cameron Crazies were going bonkers over that song, dude. It was awesome. Hey, college sports are back, though, man.
Yeah.
What happened?
College baseball, man. I watched some this weekend. Hey, I'm enjoying college baseball.
Women's softball. Isn't Oklahoma dominating women's softball?
Greatest, they already won. Greatest softball team of all time. I just want to let you know that. I got a chance to watch them. And left fielder,
Mackenzie?
maybe the most intense human on earth, okay? She is a ball player, okay, out there. She's an absolute ball player. That team, offensively, most gifted lineup in the history of women's softball.
Bar none.
And what I just said there is a recycled take from somebody else. Please do not bury me. I sent out a tweet asking if they were the greatest team of all time because I don't know shit, obviously, about softball like I wish I did. And boy, that caused quite a...
I bet you those Jenny Finch Arizona teams were quite upset with you.
There was a team in Indiana back in the 60s, from what I've been told.
Really?
I guess they could really throw the ball.
I bet they could. That Oklahoma team would have fucking 20-run them. They would have.
They were awesome to watch. That James Madison pitcher that just put the whole school on her back, basically. She had over 1,000 pitches or whatever. And it's fast. I mean, it's... And that's like women's hockey. Women's hockey's awesome. Very fast-paced. It's moves. It's things like that.
Do all the women pitchers have to wear the little face mask?
No.
No.
They don't.
No, there were a couple girls that weren't wearing them.
Sandercock down there.
Sandercock definitely was not wearing them because she throws gas. She knows. No one's hitting it back up the middle of my face.
Her coming in down 5 in the championship was crazy.
Yeah.
People were livid she wasn't starting.
Yeah, mismanagement.
After seeing her, by the way, she throws that low ball. A lot of grounders out of that Oklahoma team that likes to go yard. I mean, that's smart baseball. Hey, Boomer!
Sooner!
Congrats, Oklahoma Sooners.
Good work, Oklahoma.
College baseball, though, I think they're leading up, right, for their big thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Omaha.
And I was watching one guy. He was a pitcher, purple. I don't remember who it was, but I think he was wearing purple. They were zoomed in on his face. The amount of conversation he was having with himself, obviously, the lip, the licking, the biting, the turning, the whole routine he had. I'm like, that guy is going through mental war. Every single pitch out there. I couldn't even imagine it. The amount of pressure there when you're a college baseball player, you probably haven't been paid yet, or have you?
No.
Haven't been paid yet, trying to make it. Massive situation on your shoulders here for your day-to-day. I mean, just the amount of pressure on those pitchers in that college baseball, I couldn't even imagine. That guy looked petrified. And then he got through mud, like 90-something, got the ball back, full routine yet again. I'm like, oh my God, every pitch this kid is battling. He was battling through it, good for him, but that was intense. Mississippi State just broke another attendance record, I guess. You're right. AJ, college baseball, college softball, awesome to watch.
If you ever go in person, I remember I was down, for some reason I was in Knoxville when I was a kid, and we were watching some football thing, and we walked over to the baseball, like their stadium, and we watched a college baseball game, Tennessee. They were good back then, I guess, too. They had a student section like a couple hundred deep that would, whenever like the opposing manager comes out of the mound, they're doing the left, right, left. They're like bagging on every single player. Like, it was an awesome environment. I don't know if it's still like that. I assume Mississippi State has that.
Hey, I think SEC baseball is like that.
Arkansas celebration.
Arkansas, the pop off the bat there as soon as it hit.
Way better than a major league game, most likely to go to.
Yeah, unless you're in the playoffs in New York and they hit a grand slam. That place was
sweet.
Wild. Ty, Zito, Giuliani, Evan, Foxy got bodied by the guy. We could have got a ball from that game.
Wow.
I
remember that. You got
Debo. Yeah, Giuliani saw it all happen.
That guy was like 6'6", 240, though. I had no chance.
He was smaller than Fox. He was also like 95 years old. Fucking get out of here.
He punked you and just stole your ball?
There's a middle linebacker, AJ.
Boom. Pow.
That's mine.
Like that lady. I saw a lady steal the ball from the kid yesterday, I think.
I saw an old man lose out on a ball and throw a tantrum.
If that happened now, I could legally sock that guy in the mouth, I'm pretty sure.
It does feel like when you walk into these sports arenas now post-quarantine, people aren't about the shits anymore. What once might have been a little bit of leeway whenever you're potentially chirping or something like that at a game. Post-quarantine, 14 months lockdown, a lot of potential aggression in the body. That shit ain't flying anymore.
No way.
The only thing that's flying is a fist in probably your jaw. People are getting fucked up out here, and while fucking people up, all of a sudden their Miss Cleo Call me now. Suns in 4. That fucking guy. That was amazing. If the Suns locker room had to have seen that, and they say, hey,
we gotta do it
for our fucking guy. That guy's fucking just throwing fists, cutting a promo, throwing him around. Suns in 4, turns around, starts clapping. The whole place is it. Sports are awesome right now, but in society, we've said this before. Head on swivel. Okay. Don't talk no shit. There probably won't be no shit, but you never know right now. But if you are going to chirp and you're in a sports atmosphere, I think now is a time where we're going to learn. And somebody's going to learn about it. A lot of people. That Denver Nuggets guy putting his shit in his pocket. What'd you see this shit? Wham! Oh, no. This is not going how I thought it was going to go. He put his hands on his head, and then the guy, started talking and kind of let his guard down. All of a sudden, another one's, oh, shit! And get me out of here. I love what's going on. People are beating the fuck out of people, though.
Telling his buddy, I'm going to fuck your boy up. And then, beating him a couple uppercuts.
And did it, by the way. That guy made 2 accurate predictions while beating the fuck out of 2 people. Shout out to Suns in 4 guy, dude. Good for you.
Even Nuggets fans.
Hey, we don't promote violence.
No.
We are just bringing awareness that it does exist out there, and I think now it is amplified. So
he was protecting himself.
Bingo.
That's right.
Bingo.
With some very short, accurate, compact punches that were very efficient.
And he was hitting them with the inside of his fist too. I think that's like a guy who actually. I feel like
he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I feel like he.
Say volleyball, Z.
By the way, that's not volleyball. That's not volleyball. That's bad volleyball. That's bad volleyball. Hey,
service.
Olympics coming around. There's gonna be volleyball.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's good sport too.
Holhauser and.
So what's happening?
Phil
The Olympics.
Yeah.
Dahlhauser and hey, Dahlhauser don't fuck around, dude.
No.
When he puts his hands up, it's a roof coming. You
Big
know what I mean?
body.
He puts a roof up there.
Well, that's we want. Will that be the sand volleyball, right? Like the 2-on-2?
Yeah, it's Dahlhauser.
Is Kerry Walsh doing this one again?
I'm not 100% sure.
Jennings,
Yeah, I've been seeing commercials for her. I'm pretty sure she's in it.
Hey, the big thing when you're blocking a volleyball spike, hey, some people think they need to jump real high. You don't. Most spikes are happening during that candy cane. That's all you need to get to. Okay? Yeah, don't jump too high. That's it. The ball's going to come to you. And then go ahead and talk that thing. Talk that thing.
Point.
Why wouldn't you jump too high so you know it's not going over you, and if it hits your elbow, it's still going down?
Yeah, because then they can just use you. I can just right off the side of your head.
Hit it off them.
Yeah, you start your own. You know what I mean?
No higher than a candy cane.
Hey, I was a proficient volleyball player. Proficient. I don't know if I'm using that word right or not. I was a good volleyball player.
Did you do a jump serve?
I had a jump floater. Yeah, so instead of the top spin, I had a running jump floater that used to.
I love sand volleyball. Like sand volleyball is awesome. Pool volleyball is fun if you can get one of those together.
I had such a fear of water for so long, after the incident with my ear. I don't necessarily love pool volleyball, but beach volleyball is the best. I really enjoy it.
It's a great workout too, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you die. You absolutely die. I saw who was driving X on the beach. Xavier
Rhodes, yeah.
Xavier Rhodes. Did you see his sand workout?
No.
He's gliding across the sand. He's coming back, obviously. Gonna need him. Julio's in town in the AFC South. He's here with the Colts or whatever. He was training on the beach. It was unbelievable watching him. I almost puked watching his workout.
Helmet on.
And then, I think he had full socks. I think he had socks on the sand, which is awesome. He was just moving, though. Sand kills you. Did you guys have a sand pit in Green Bay?
Yeah, I believe we did have a sand pit eventually. We didn't use it a whole lot, but when we did, it's death.
They tried to introduce that at a couple different times and a couple different strength coaches at the Colts. And I don't remember it ever sticking to it. Those first couple workouts in there, whenever you just go in there like, I'm going to work out in the sand today. I see it on the internet. This will be fun. You go in there and literally you're 4 steps in. You're like, oh my, you are running 10 steps to get 2 feet because you're just like a yabba dabba doo guy in there. Basically, it is.
We did at Ohio. Did you do it in college at Ohio State? We did a decent amount where there'd be certain days where the whole workout was in the sand pit and on like the dip and pull-up bars that were right next to it, and it was just you just killed yourself for an hour straight. It was
Really?
nasty.
I would have had massive anxiety going into that one. You
I
guys
did.
Yeah.
I was very nervous before every single one, and yes, everybody was scared to death.
Was it early morning? Was this like off-season early morning type stuff, I assume?
Nah, it was like the weird like one-off workouts that you have every once in a while to change things up, like on a Friday in the summer or things like that.
We died every day. Same way. And then the hill was at the end. The hill, this hill thing, law school hill at West Virginia, it was like the
Did you have to like leave your where you guys were like normally worked out and like meet up there, or how?
It was outside the stadium, so it was like on one side of the stadium. The law school was up on top of it, and in West Virginia, Mountaineers, the hills are, a bit steep or whatever. That's why I got a scooter out there. Had to. The first day I walked to class, said never again. I'm getting a scooter. So but the law school hill is what you led up to all summer. All summer workouts was like to pass law school hill. Basically, it was considered the aggro crag.
Yeah. Wow.
Basically,
So that was your that was your final conditioning test?
Yeah, was the hill, and it was.
How many? Like, what'd you do?
I think it was 10 of them, and you had a certain amount of time, depending upon your weight class, to get up and back down before the next one was starting. And then if you didn't make it, you had to make up every one you didn't make, and you weren't allowed to leave, basically. They had people there, and I'm sure people have learned about this now. They had people there until like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. These things started 7:30 a.m. This is when this thing started. People were still crawling up and down, basically, the hill to get there. For me, I was very fortunate. I grew up running up and down hills.
Yeah.
Running down the hill is almost like that is a bigger part of the whole thing, because the faster you get down, by the way, the more weight you have. Getting up, you can kind of pace yourself if you know how to run down a hill. Not everybody knows how to run down a hill, especially a steep one. I look like the fucking girl chasing the cheese during that. I was just skipping down that thing, and then you just wait at the bottom. But I've seen plenty of souls leave bodies on their thing. It is.
Especially when you're dead tired though, trying to come down a steep hill. Good luck.
There was
people just eating shit.
Yeah. Whoa, like jumping over. Whoa.
Walter used to do it.
What's that?
Walter Payton, up and down in Tim's.
Oh yeah, he used to wear. Rice. He used to have Tim's.
Oh yeah.
I think
heavy boots.
Jerry Rice did that as well. Is what AJ just said. Hills are a motherfucker, and I like. We have one in my backyard now. Did a little. You guys are gonna like hearing this.
Uh-oh.
The Jeep would not start.
No, what?
Didn't turn on for a week.
What?
That's on me. I should have known.
The Hemi. Got a brand new Hemi in there.
It's so disrespectful to people whose dream is to own a car like that. And you just let that thing die 3 days after.
You might have a magnet on your house.
Hey, to re-say what you just said, what'd you say? I let that thing die in 3 days. That thing died in 3 days. Nobody's dreaming of owning a goddamn Jeep with a Hemi that's dying when it's not used for 3 fucking days. Okay?
For some reason, whoever the original owner was that put that engine into that Jeep that had over 100,000 miles on it and sold it to you for $117,000. I hope they'd reach out to us somehow and let us know what they thought they were going to get. Like, hey man, I was hoping to get about $35K.
You returned it?
I mean, that was a nice thing you did for that guy.
Well, I have talked to him, especially recently here, as this thing hasn't, started back up. Tim McAfee went and took a look at it this morning, though. He figured it out.
Oh, good to go.
Got a wire that was blown. And he said, probably potentially would have known about that, but he's going to fix. Allegedly, this thing's back up and running. In the Jeep with the Hemi, with the tires and everything, it wasn't that for 100-some thousand miles, obviously, doofus. I mean, what are we doing? They took the thing.
Still the bones have
nothing's wrong with the bones, by the way. I hop in it, fucking still there.
Yep, golden.
You know what I mean? It just won't. It wouldn't even, I got it. The Alpine radio did turn on, and then it just the sound that I've heard far too often. All right, this battery's fucking dead. Of course.
You need to drive cars. Like when you have them, you need to drive them to keep them going. Like,
who has the time? Go ahead.
Well, I was so you were excited. You were getting ready to take it out for a spin. The weather's beautiful this weekend.
Oh, and then where I was headed.
Jeeping, huh?
Where I was headed, by the way, was a nice little drive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a place that would have been cool to potentially drive back from as well.
Sure.
In the woods a little bit, out a little bit. It was awesome. And to get to, by the way, I got down to a barn. So it's a little bit of a walk. I was fucking skipping to get back in that thing because it's been raining for 9 straight days.
Yeah.
Literally couldn't. I go down. I see it every day. Take dogs on a walk. Give it a little Good to see you. Yeah. Hey, happy to see you're still fucking standing. You know, the bones
Try to start it. When you go down there, just give it a little start, too.
I know. Then I got to take the keys. Remember, you're right.
No, leave the keys in. You're worried someone's going to come in your barn and steal your Jeep?
Maybe.
AJ, listen, I lock every door, okay? I shut every blind. I do. I am a hay. You never. Yeah, I think somebody come steal that fucking Jeep for sure.
What do you think? This is a movie where you put the keys up in the sunshade thing?
Yeah, this ain't the days where you put the shit in the gas tank.
On your own property, I would. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'll see.
Or just hide them in the barn somewhere down there, so you don't have to. I'm sure every day you're walking the dogs like, oh hey, I'm gonna start you up, old buddy, and like, keys are back at the house. I bet that happens every single day.
You know what? To be honest, I never said, hey, I'm gonna start you up, buddy. Should have been thinking about that. That is how I'll think nowadays, going forward since you taught me. But there's a lot of like patting on them. Yeah. You know, saying, hey, a lot of people say you're way overpriced, dude. But I'm happy you're on my team. You know, I let the Jeep know that although it is incredibly inconvenient and tough to drive a lot of places, and there's not a lot of Sundays to drive that whole thing around, I appreciate being part of the squad.
Jeep. Maybe we get you a universal remote that like remote starts all of them at once.
Oh.
Puts like a fucking on a schedule.
Yeah, so like boom, 8 in the morning, all on. 10 in the afternoon.
Smart. Just like once a week, like one of those systems tests.
Yeah.
You know, that you see
Green
on the
lights,
TV.
all good.
EAS ones.
Yeah.
Beep.
Yeah. Anyway,
Is this your version of Tubin coming back on air and spilling his guts, like trying to be relatable to people by saying like you don't have enough time to start all of the many cars you have?
I only drive my F-150. Okay?
Hell yeah.
That's what I would have said if I wanted to be relatable. What I was trying to say, although that is true. That is what I would have, that is a 100% true statement. But if I was pandering, who has the time to go make sure all these fucking overpriced cars are okay? Okay? You guys good? Good. I pay, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. When I need you and we need each other, let's do it. You know, like, these divas.
When you pay that much, you're right. But when you pay that much, you should expect that they do work.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, hey, the F-150, that son of a bitch, I'll sit it out 10 days, that thing, and I'll hit the remote start on that thing. Guess what? It'll go. Now, there might be a time where it's, gas tank sensor thing might completely leave me stranded on the side of a highway because it's broken. Gonna have to fix that. But
Did you get the oil change?
Yeah, and got the oil change. Shout out this weekend. Shout out to that.
Let's go.
Thought that thing was gonna die for sure. But what I'm saying is, these things are a pain in the ass, all these vehicles. When just, Jeep Lightning, I used to have Jeep Lightning back in high school. That thing couldn't go to speed limit on most highways. Guess what? That motherfucker turned on every day.
That's right.
What's wrong with these goddamn cars? I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. AJ.
How's the Shelby doing?
Hey, this weekend, Tim started that thing sitting around, I think.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm taking this thing
Tim
out.
McAfee, I think Tim McAfee is going to end up just leaving the house one day. I'm 100% sure. Not 100% sure, but much closer to the day-to-day. He got a new battery for it. He was at the house yesterday, came over. Happy Father's Day, Tim. Father's Day is coming up, by the way. Happy Father's Day to you too, AJ.
Happy Father's Day, AJ.
I'm pistol.
Way to go. Happy Father's Day to everybody else too out there. I'll be at Hell in a Cell on Father's Day. So had Father's Day early, you know what I mean? Hey, Rey Mysterio is fucking in big trouble.
Look out.
Hey, listen, I'm a big fan of Rey's, but he shouldn't have done what he did.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns in a hell, dude.
Come on.
There ain't nowhere to run. Not Hell in a Cell, dude.
Acknowledge him.
So are you going to rotate? Are the commentary booths rotate back and forth during that?
I think so, yeah. I don't fully understand what's going on, but I do believe me and Corey Graves switch it out, in and out, in and out. How you doing?
Well, I thought he has his crew, you have you and Cole.
Yeah, but he sits on the same side as I do on that desk. Okay. So he and I have the plug-in thing. Mm-hmm. It said Graves and Byron for my first, for Saxton, for my first 7 weeks there. This past week, Graves McAfee on it.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
All right.
I did it.
Come on.
I did it. Every week I looked down there and I was like, I guess people quit. All right, here we go. And then it was on there. It was a big moment, actually, big moment. Jimmy Smith, the new Raw commentator, his name was on there already. And play-by-play guy, though. He does. I mean, his job is much more difficult and harder than mine, I will say. But yeah, his name's on there. My name's on there anyways. Happy Father's Day. Tim came over, got a new battery for that thing, started it up, took it around, drive around the property a little bit. I think old Tim is setting up for potential. I mean, and by the way, I'd be 100% okay with it. He would turn that son of a bitch on.
Take it, Tim. Just take it. You know, if he just drives that thing right to his house, parks in his garage, you'll never even ask about it.
Well,
you probably won't realize. You won't even know. Hey, didn't I have another car, babe?
What's that? Did I used to have a shit?
That one I wrecked into a tree and I tried to break up with you because
excuse me. I didn't try to break up with her. We did break up because of that. We have since got back together and are now married. But anyways, I think he's going to take that whole thing. The weekend that was, AJ, did you watch Joker play?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I saw the garbage ejection he got when he barely even made contact.
No.
What's he saying?
Different Joker. He's thinking of Joker.
Basketball.
Oh, the MVP Joker. Sorry. Zito and I were having a one-way conversation in my ear. Joker, third quarter, Dahn 8 in a must-win game for the MVP's team. Those Mickey Mouse refs over at the NBA, just a couple days after a security guard comes sprinting onto the court to break up a potential scuffle. Now they're kicking MVPs out of games in must-win games. Are you kidding me? Now, Joker did come out and say he was trying to set a tone with this particular swipe. He did. I mean, hit him in the face, and it was
He grazed his nose and then got all ball with his hands.
Yeah, 7 foot something, though, coming down, just grazing a face in there. You could see how it could have been a flagrant 2 or whatever, but kicking the MVP out of the game in a must-win. Obviously, Suns fans, which are in abundance, by the way, saw a clip from somebody leaving that game where all the fans were out there. I guess Phoenix is a massive basketball town. Congrats to the Suns. I mean, there's an asterisk next to that win to make this Suns in 4, but maybe the refs saw what Suns in 4 guy did in the crowd, acknowledge how awesome it was, and said, all right, let's get the MVP out of here, a guy who has 20 rebounds, 20 points almost every single night, and make this easier. But good for the Suns. You're right, AJ. I didn't like that, getting kicked out of that game for that either.
I mean, the NBA should not be happy that it happened either, but okay, like I ask you every time, do the Suns have a real
NBA is a part
chance?
of that.
What?
NBA is a part of that decision, for sure.
But not in the moment, though. The NBA
Yeah,
is.
they go. They
they're not
make the
doing
call, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They go.
How fast did he eject him? How fast from when it happened to when he actually ejected
Any ejection, they go to the thing and they do the thing.
Okay, well, if they talk to him before they eject him, yeah, the NBA is in on that.
Well, Tim Donahue told us.
Well, then the ref looks directly at the monitor and says, he's on.
Oh,
Wait, did they review it?
Did he
and
put
then
a head
eject
on?
him?
Yeah,
but then after
they go review it, and then it comes down. It was like a 5-minute break.
But they always put the thing
Yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah.
And
Then
I
after they
assume
take 'em off.
every time they put the thing on, Adam Silver's just sitting there on the other side.
Get him out.
I don't know.
Okay.
He's got to go.
Well, then the NBA is trying to set a tone like, hey, we're not going to deal with any of this foolishness.
Well, the foolishness is the fact that LeBron and Drake are at high school basketball games and not in the tourney still. Whenever you said...
Did they go? I didn't see it. I didn't notice.
I heard they were at a high school basketball game. Me too, AJ. I didn't see it, but I heard they were there as well. Bron did have a mask because...
Drake
is not.
Drake did not have a mask.
He walked in and gave one of these.
Did he?
Nice.
Hey, we're together, but we ain't the same. All right? Everybody knows it's okay. Don't be breathing in his mouth. Come on, breathe in my mouth. All right. I guess Kyrie Irving, he rolled his ankle pretty bad. Pretty bad. On Giannis's real G's moving silence like Giannis on his foot, actually. That thing turned over completely. Now, walking off the court, he did try to put a little pressure on it, it seemed like, while he was getting help with the ankle. Seemed like he felt like it was maybe better than it could have been. I'm not 100% sure there's been a diagnosis yet, but with Harden out with the hamstring, and now Kyrie out with the ankle, we're going to learn a lot about Kevin Durant and Chris Paul. Hey, and D-Book, they seem to be a team that's, kissed by the basketball gods right now. Chris Paul's never won. What's his legacy? Everybody's talking about? I'll tell you what it is. During his 7-game win streak, 226 minutes he's played.
Okay.
Nope. 94-plus minutes he's played.
No, you're right. 226.
Plus minuses.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
how's
plus
the plus minus work
94?
in basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's when he's on the court, what the score differential is, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, plus 94 is his plus minus. 535 touches, 51 and 95 on his field goal. It's 54%, no big deal. Hasn't missed a free throw. This is J.J. Redick at Duke.
Yeah.
68 assists and only 8 turnovers. He's been unconscious, and I think through this entire time he's been battling some shoulder injury as well. Chris Paul alongside Devin Booker. And that, hey, what's the video from the player? He's
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, it is. I mean, whenever he gets up out of his Bentley, maybe? Rolls? Not 100% sure. Look at this.
That's awesome.
Awesome, dude. We've been told that Phoenix is a great basketball town because of the teams back in the day.
Dan Marley, man. Thanks to Dan.
Barkley as well,
Chuck,
and
yeah.
I think Steve Nash is out there.
Amari Stoudemire.
And they're all the way back. Good for them. Give Chris Paul. Chris Paul turned down some deal, right?
Yeah, $44 million.
He's probably going to make 100 some again.
Yeah, that's what he's looking for.
He's 36 years old. Good for him. Let's get to a break. We are 45 minutes into hour 2 here. We have to get out here. We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls, wrapping up hour 2. Big thanks to all of you listening and watching, wherever the hell you may be. We'll see you in 4. Okay, so I was elected captain a week. We played the Lions up in Detroit. And Vandenbosch was one of the captains for them. And he had red contacts.
Yeah, that's him.
He had red contacts in, and we walked up to each other, right? And I think I'm with like Mathis and some other people. I don't know. I should not have been there. I was just far left or whatever. I'm just on the far left side of it. And I walk in, and we all dap each other up. And then he's there, and I go shake his hands. I look him in the eyes, and I didn't say anything. I just looked him right in the eyes, and he like dapped me up or whatever, gave a fist bump. And I just stared at him for the entire coin toss. Like the ref was talking to whoever was going to talk for us. And I was just looking this guy right in the eyes the whole time. And then as soon as we go to leave, I go, that's wild, man. I just jog off to my side. In those captains' meetings, I've had some incredible electric moments. We played against the Minnesota Vikings, and Adrian Peterson was the captain of Vikings. I was captain of the Colts. There was like 3 other people. We walk out there for this. And the only thing I've heard about Adrian Peterson is how firm, well, I've heard a lot of things about Adrian Peterson. Those aside. But I've heard that Adrian Peterson's handshake is a firm one. Like Adrian Peterson has a firm handshake. It's like this legendary story. So we go out for the coin toss and I see him and I'm like, here we go. And as soon as we go for the handshake, I get in early. I get in because the key to breaking a very stern handshake is you get in early because you got to beat the grip. You got to beat the grip. So he's like kind of casually shaking everybody else's hands. I'm like dapping everybody up like slowly. And I'm like watching him the entire time. And he brings his hand out and I race in to get the netting and your thumb on the thumb. And then I squeeze first, right? So I get like, that's like in arm wrestling when you get the angle on it. So he squeezes back and I give him like a ha-ha. Like, right? So while the coin toss is happening, Adrian Peterson looks at me while he's standing on the other side. Neither of us were speaking captains. And he goes, after the coin toss, we're doing another one. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. He goes back. As soon as the coin toss is over, there's another dap up before we run back. And we did this handshake. He got me around too. I'm dust. And that was my drop hand too. That's like my punt drop hand. I thought it was going to be broken. But I was like, those coin toss things, I don't know how you don't shake hands because it's just an awkward situation where you're forced to shake hands almost. That opening kickoff in that Super Bowl you're referring to with the Colts, Hester takes to the crib. You having a little bit of a heart attack there?
Very bad decision, Pat, on my part. All week up in Indy, we're practicing, and we know he's their number one threat. They don't have a lot of offensive weaponry. They win with defense and special team. So for the whole week, we're in Indy. We're not going to let him touch the ball. We practice squibbing to the corners, bouncing the ball, high kick, pop-up kickoff, punt it out of bounds, everything to not let him touch the ball. We have a chapel service, and the chaplain talks about David and Goliath, and he says, hey, the reason David beat Goliath, he wasn't afraid. Everybody else was afraid. David ran right at him, threw it right between the eyes, and it was over. And I started thinking, we're acting like we're afraid of Devin Hester. So I told the team on Saturday night, I hope we lose the toss. We're going to kick off. We're going to kick it right down the middle. When we pound him, they'll know we mean business. It's going to be over. We kicked it to him. 12 seconds later, he's in the other end. He's looking at me saying, what idiot decided to kick the ball to Devin Hester? But fortunately, the last 59 minutes, the team made up for it.
Wait until they see the tone we set on the opening kickoff.
Yeah, that was it.
I bet you Vinatieri was sitting there.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
giving the old white guys something to complain about. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Today's sponsor is Public.com, an investing app where you can buy stocks, follow investors, and share ideas, AJ Hawk.
What kind of ideas?
Well, you can share your ideas on, investment, what you're thinking. What do you like?
Okay.
Hey, long-term, short-term, what are we thinking? What's up? What's down?
Is this advice?
This is not advice. None of this is advice. It's just gathering information on what others are doing. Public.com is an app that lets you know what others know.
Okay.
In rapid time.
Wow. Let's go.
That's right. I joined Public, and you can see my portfolio if you search at Pat McAfee in the app. That's at PATMCAFEE. AJ, have you done that? Why haven't you done that yet?
I haven't done it yet, man. I don't know. I want to hear more about it.
Well, why don't you come check out my portfolio? And mine is not advice. It's just, hey, these are people that I think are aliens. I'm investing in them, and you shouldn't do the same. But I'm just saying, maybe think about it if it's doing well, and you don't have to just maybe Shaq. He's in there. Yeah. Shaq's in there. Yeah.
What's he doing?
Tony Hawk.
What?
Tony? Yeah, Tony Hawk. He by the way, he's hosting the Olympics.
That's right.
Here we go.
He's hosting the Olympics, skateboard events, I think, in the Olympics. Tony Hawk. Also, to be seen during the commentary is
Kornacki.
Steve Kornacki.
Yeah.
Steve Kornacki's going to be out there. I wonder if he's going to do a full map thing on the amount of points for gymnastic moves, because Simone Biles is getting screwed because she's too good.
Yeah, respect.
How can they put a proper what score is if nobody's ever been able to do anything that Simone Biles does every single time? What's routine for Simone is groundbreaking for the gymnastic community. It might be a lot harder than she's making it look. Ever think about that, huh? Just give her the gold.
Give her the gold.
Right now. Is that what Kornacki's map's going to say? We will find out when the Olympics are on, but you can follow along. I don't know if Kornacki's on here. I hope he is. But the app is free, and you can start with as little as $1. You can buy slices of stock or full shares. They don't sell your data or information to third parties or market makers like other investment apps. You'll get a free slice of stock when you go to public.com/Pat McAfee to download the Public app. Get started today and make sure you follow me. This is not investment advice, valid for U.S. residents 18 plus, subject to account approval. See public.com/disclosures. Not investment advice once again. Once again, make sure you go to public.com/Pat McAfee to get a free stock slice.
Let's go. Hell yeah.
AJ, you should do that. I don't know what you're waiting for.
Hey, how do we know that they don't sell our information to a third party?
Well, you see, that's the thing about the people that sell the information to third party. They're all loud about it. They're it's in the little guide everybody just says okay about. If you read those 4,000 pages in there somewhere, it will say asterisk, we'll sell all your shit, but who has the time? Oh. And Public said, we don't have it. Don't you worry about it. We won't sell your stuff. That's why they're the best, AJ. That's why they're the best.
They are. Good for them.
There's a lot happening with Stephon Gilmore. Defensive MVP, just a couple years ago, candidate, I think. Last year played 11 games, did not opt out, played for the Patriots defense, in which a lot of guys opted out. Suffered a partially torn quad, I believe. Played 11 games. Now he's going into the last year of his contract with $7.3 million due and owed to him. He is officially a no-show at the mandatory minicamp in New England. Belichick was asked about it this morning. He said there's some weather issues with some people's travel. We're not 100% sure who's here and who isn't here. Is that Stephon Gilmore, or is Stephon Gilmore actually not there? Jalen Ramsey from the LA Rams has gone on to Instagram and said, hey, what's good? Why don't you come on over to LA, pal? There's been plenty of people in the past who have gone from Boston to LA in one. People are recruiting Stephon Gilmore. I don't know if players are the ones deciding where Stephon Gilmore's going. I assume the people that are deciding are those who have to renegotiate an extension contract with Stephon Gilmore, but that's a guy I would love to get into our building immediately if I had a little bit of a defensive inefficiency somewhere. Ooh. He takes you over the hump maybe, but he's holding out. It's bad news in New England, AJ.
Hey, but are they upset that he's holding out? It's been known that they've been trying to trade him, right?
Yeah, for 2 years, it sounds like. Yeah. And I think it's all because his age, potentially, and the future contract, the Patriots aren't going to pay him the next contract. I think Stephon knows that. I assume Bill and the Patriots have been acting as such. So this has been something that's been talked about for a few years. Thought maybe before the draft something was going to happen. Now nothing. Now he hasn't shown up. As a Patriots fans, your thought? You guys are bringing in a lot of good players. Why is it time now to get rid of a great player? That's something I'm thinking.
Kind of a bummer. Rob Ninkovich talked about it before on the show about how like it's not really what you've done before. It's what are you going to do? The torn quad doesn't help. And also J.C. Jackson, the younger rookie corner who had the 9 picks last year, he got a first-round tender. They're probably gearing up to pay him next year.
Yeah, but they paid everybody, and salary cap means nothing. Is there something wrong behind the scenes?
Whoa.
We will find
That's what
out.
they do, though. You know, the Patriots aren't scared to move on from guys that made a ton of plays, but they may be considered a bit old, which I don't even think Gilmore is. He's coming off the quad, though.
He's 30.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old.
As a corner? Yeah, it's not young.
Yeah, but he's also just an absolute stud.
I'll sign him right now. If I'm a GM, I'll sign him.
I'd sign him right now as well, but you're right. I mean, Teddy Bruschi was basically allegedly like, hey, we're going to cut you or you're retiring.
Yeah,
you're
Seymour, Braves, they all got traded.
Yeah, Vinatieri, too. I think there was even conversation about how he's 11 years in or 10 years in. He would go on to have another 12 years somewhere else. But I think that is something, Tom, obviously. Bill Belichick say, I'm going to be early out instead of late in. And that's, I guess it's worked for a long time. But how often can you ship greats out of the building and still win? We'll find out. They've been doing it for 20 years. Hour 3's on the other side in about 6 minutes or so.
We have no idea how to do the subway system, but Z is doing the direction, the directing, the mapping, the planning.
Well, my tell is in 10 minutes, that train should be ready. He knew his shit. He said it's going that way. This is Zito guided tour. We're not going to get spot on the train. We should get on an Uber. This was a bad idea. This was a bad decision. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I mean, this is going to be interesting, isn't it?
Are we on the right way to Yankee Stadium right now? To the Bronx.
I don't like that hesitancy.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
New York is it's a bit much. There's shit everywhere. It smells like shit. There's a lot of people, but it's a hell of an industry out here, you know.
Thank you so much.
Hey, let's go now, Yanks.
Hey, what are we saying now, Tanaki?
Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated. We the one. Out of the darkness, I rose up. Gold in my soul, it's a gold rush. Honor and freedom, I toast up. Kicking game on the snare drum. Hard on the beat, let it bleed out like sacrifices. Cut it open, emotions. Spilling like oil and coasting. Therapy for my mental, I'm pinning a pistol and shoot down the criticisms individually. I heard the voices that told us. Throw dirt on my name and wish me the worst and scold us. Shot through the heart and pray on my downfall. But Yahtzee prevailed. Stand on top of this.
Hey, I said it was salami time.
On my chest like Olympic gold. Rapids move on the floor like a jazz song. Witness greatness, look up in LeBron home. Remember next time before you doubt us. That only made me go.
I'd also potentially taken over their 30 edibles because I thought more teammates of mine were going to want to indulge in that either before the game or after the game. And to get to London, you go through your own TSA here. The team has TSA that you have to check in. Here's my passport. The Colts already have it. They took it all from everybody. It's literally you get your bags checked and then you're through. Put them in a little thing. We're good to go. It's team's TSA. Get on the bus, fly over there. I forgot all about them. Didn't utilize them at all because how things quickly changed.
Right.
After we lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're on the team bus. They go, hey, we're going through Heathrow Airport through the real-life TSA. And at that moment, I look around and I go, oh, no. I have some things in my bag right now that have vitamins in them. I have to get rid of them. And at that point, I'd whittled it down to like 15 of them. And I look at Vinatieri, and I'm like, buddy, not good. He's like, what are you going to do? I was like, I guess I'm just going to throw them away in here. Couldn't do that because right next to the trash can was an English police officer. So I couldn't just walk up and dump a bunch of edibles into the thing next to the guy. He's going to ask questions. We're going to the Heathrow airport. Now I got to do what I got to do. We finally get there. Police escorts, a lot going on. So I just take down 13 edibles.
Yikes.
See you later. Vinatieri looks at me and goes, how you doing, bub? I was like, good now, but things are about to happen. He goes, I got you, little buddy. I'm like, thank you. So we go through the little check-in thing. And right before we get to the scan of the bags thing, it all hits me. I might as well have been on Cloud 45 over there in London. They check my bag, boom, boom, boom. I get selected. Something was in my bag. So now all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, did I leave a couple in there? Oh my God. Vinatieri starts walking ahead. He turns around, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, they got my bag, man. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, I have no idea. So he comes and stands with me. He's like, I got you, bub. I was like, they might got me, for real. I might be staying the night in England. They go through my bag. Turns out, had a vibrating toothbrush. Thing was vibrating in my bag.
Yep.
They're like, oh, it must have been this. Or it must have been my big-ass toothpaste because you can't fly with that. I was like, you got it, pal. I get all the way back to the plane. Lost my ticket somewhere. Somehow I don't have a ticket. So now I got to check into the gate people that I don't have a ticket. I'm like, I'm on this plane. I promise I am, but I don't have a ticket. They're like, what's your name? I'm like, Patrick McAfee. McAfee? No, yeah, whatever you want to call me. I just need a ticket. So now I have to sit there and wait as somebody brings me a ticket from the front while my entire team walks by me, knowing that I'm on Cloud 50, just having a good time. Grigson walks by, just upset, obviously. I wish he would have known that I was in a mood where he should have talked to me there. It was just a nightmare. The London trip for me from beginning to end was not good, and I think that happens for a lot of NFL players.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this Monday, June 14th, 2021. We'll begin immediately following this beat drop from Men in Twine. There it is. Here we go, AJ. Welcome back, AJ.
Hey, baby, AJ.
Yeah! I think there was poop on the floor out here. I stepped on it. Honestly.
From who? From Connor?
That's the question.
Okay.
That's the question. We will get into that. How was your weekend, AJ? Did you have a good weekend, bub? What you do?
Yeah, it was good, man. A lot of it was 7,000 degrees and very humid here. But yeah, different sporting events, baseball tournaments, basketball, everything's going on.
Did you do? Yeah, you did a lot of dadding this weekend. Good for you, man. That's awesome. Let's talk about some shit that popped off around the NFL this weekend. Sean McVay, Sean McVay, who could have went on to be the Monday Night Football analyst if he wanted to this offseason. ESPN was allegedly, and let's presume, actually approaching him about the Monday Night Football gig. That was a no. Then, obviously, Sean McVay was down in Mexico at a resort enjoying his offseason. And while down there at the same resort, he acquired a quarterback from Detroit and sent his quarterback out of town. One that was not, put in the game, in the playoffs, in a game that mattered. Instead, they had a guy named
Tony Wolford.
John Wolford.
There it is.
The Wolf played instead of this guy. Sent him out of town. There was stories coming out that Jared Goff and McVay had friction, and McVay didn't believe in Goff. This comes after they pay him $100-some million. And everybody thought there was no way they could move on from Jared Goff because the contract was too large. Insert MCDC and the Detroit Lions saying, "Hey, pal, come on up to here. We'll give you 7, or we'll take 7 first-round picks as well. We'll take the contract. We'll do the whole thing." And in return, Matthew Stafford, a quarterback that I think the large majority of NFL fans don't truly know, because you're never going to watch a Lions game unless it's Thanksgiving Day. And what do the Lions do on Thanksgiving Day? They normally start to lose. Then Matthew Stafford will throw and have an incredible game, and then they inevitably lose. And everybody goes, Lions, they lose again, but Matthew Stafford pretty good. And then you forget about him because you never watch a Lions game again for the rest of the season because they're never on national TV. I got a chance to watch him. He's fucking unbelievable. And McVay has come out and said, like, yep, I'm confident. People have been saying that he's in a better mood this offseason, one in which, the Rams acquired Matthew Stafford over Jared Goff. Sean McVay said, "You're damn right I am. This guy right here, he's special." Matthew Stafford. So this is I think a great way to describe the change that the Rams get with Matthew Stafford. Not only are they getting a guy who is one of the best throwers of a football ever, a guy who's seen every defense basically, and now he's going to be in a McVay offense, but you're also seeing Sean McVay did hate Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now listen, I don't want to put words into his mouth. And maybe didn't hate him personally, but as a football player, it was very obvious that McVay was like, okay, this isn't the guy I want. He goes on to say in the same conversation about how confident when Matt Stafford walks into a room, basically, there's immediate credibility. He's a true igniter, makes everybody around him better. He's humble. Well, he has been because he's been in Detroit. He's lost a bunch, but it's one of those things where it feels like this is going to be a great relationship. It's starting already, and I think the world should be pretty excited to watch Matthew Stafford and McVay kind of piece an offense together out there in LA, AJ.
So have you really not gotten a chance to watch a lot of Stafford? And it makes sense. I played in the same division. I think he came in the league, 2009?
Yep.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's my draft. He got paid 50, 60, 70 million the day he got drafted or something. Could have bought all of Detroit the day he was drafted. The day he was drafted.
I've had so much, especially if you just got to sit into some of our defensive meeting rooms, playing the Lions twice a year. When I was in Green Bay for 9 years, I probably played Stafford 5-6 years in a row. And that dude, first off, never was out of the lineup, I feel like. Always playing through all kinds of injuries. If you had to sit and listen to our game plan against him, you're not scared of what Stafford is. You don't want to say you're scared of any quarterback, but we were very aware of how awesome this guy can be. And hey, don't let this guy get going, because at some point every game he's just going to be on absolute fire, I feel like.
Aaron gave a shout out to him whenever we were talking about no-look throws, because Aaron did one. Aaron's been doing it for a long time. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes has brought it into his game as well in a beautiful fashion. It's not an easy thing to do. And Aaron said, hey, who's been doing those for a long, number 9 up there in Detroit or whatever. I feel like a lot of football players have a lot more respect for Stafford than I think the national media or maybe the NFL fan base is. And it's not because I got a chance to watch him here the last couple of years strictly because Foxy, so I can, really see why this guy is a fan or whatever. And, getting to watch Stafford has been very cool. Now, he had a lot of weapons around him. He's thrown for a lot of yards. For whatever reason, the Lions might just be cursed in general, just like the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I think this is going to be a big hello. And Matthew Stafford, super quiet guy. Never really comes out and talks, does interviews or anything like that. I got a chance to be around him at a wedding I went to. He was super cool dude. I think everybody kind of respects him in the football world, and I think the media now and the fans are going to get a chance to see it for the first time here.
Well, I think other quarterbacks probably have a ton of respect for him. You mentioned Aaron talking about him throwing so many no-look passes and no one talks about it. Stafford does, but I think every quarterback, they look at Stafford, they're probably happy for him. Like, hey, man, you're going to get a great opportunity not only to play in an awesome offense that's going to be crafted around all of what you do best, but now L.A., big-time stage, hopefully a lot of primetime games. Hopefully they win a bunch, and people start taking notice of how good Stafford actually is.
I like, though, that McVay's like, yeah, you know what, I am in a better mood. How about it? How about it? Because he knows immediately upon saying that, by the way, what the reaction's going to be, and I don't know if he...
I think he responded already to that, saying, I wasn't tearing down Jared, didn't he?
Did he? I have no idea. I've been live.
Before, at one point, he had mentioned Jared, like, hey, I wish him all the best. Think he's going to do great in Detroit and stuff along those lines.
But he said no problem burying fucking Jared Goff.
What's that? You talking about when he put Wolford in?
Yeah, and then trading him for
three for
giving up a bunch.
Hey, when did it go wrong? When did it all go bad?
It had to be that playoff
Probably
run.
Super Bowl.
No, well, maybe they paid him though, didn't they? After that, they paid him after the Super Bowl. So I think you know what, Gurley got hurt that 1 year, right? And then the offense changed, the offensive line changed completely, and it's just, I think what they had imagined and thought, and you got to remember, McVay was what, 21 years old when he became a head coach in the NFL, and he had success immediately. Immediate success. Here we go. This guy's the new guy. Anybody that's ever been around him, they're getting head coaching jobs because maybe they could be a little bit of Sean McVay. Maybe osmosis went through that fucking cup of coffee they had with McVay, with what an insert name of coach that is a guest on Flying Coach, where, you know, they got a job basically because of how good McVay was, but that's what he was. And then they start, you know, not, I guess, going to the championship or going to the Super Bowl, or they kind of go off a little bit. I assume there was a moment where McVay was like, well, we can't do what we were able to do because we're going to pay this guy. So we got to rely on this guy. This guy, yeah, we were once at a place, now we're not there anymore. I assume that's when it happened, when McVay realized, like, oh, we're not going to get to where I already once was in my very short head coaching career with this guy. Let's go ahead and make the change. And they have an owner, by the way. Kroenke was just like, yeah, do whatever you got to do, man. Write whatever check you got to write. I think Matthew Stafford helps him out immensely, let alone if Jalen Ramsey's recruiting tactics help with anybody else. But that team, destination place, if they can win, they can start getting guys.
New stadium.
Potential ring hunting, too, out in L.A. You know what I mean?
I like the term that McVay used for Stafford. He said he's a true igniter. Like, it makes sense. Yeah, I want to be around a guy like that, too. I think my starting quarterback in the NFL, that should absolutely apply to him.
And we've said this before, and I don't know Goff well. I've seen him on that golf course.
Oh, man.
Hey, I've seen him on that golf course. I saw him on Hard Knocks, and I don't really know much about him or whatever. But when McVay opens up and talks about a quarterback, I'm not 100% sure Goff is exactly what any of us think about. You know, it seems like he has more of a quiet style. But
McVay comes from Gruden, and he sounds a lot like Gruden when he speaks, too.
Yeah, very much so. And very, he'll be great on TV, just like Gruden whenever he really wants to be. But the thought, Matthew Stafford isn't like that super loud guy either, So I think.
But on the field, though, he's super fiery.
Swag.
Super confident and ultra competitive. You see that on the field for sure.
Yeah, I think that's something that people get wrong. Like, yeah, he's so competitive, they stink all the time. Like, oh, what's this all about or whatever? It's like, look up the fourth quarter.
He's still throwing for 480 and 3 touchdowns. They're just getting beat.
Trust me when I say it was not Matthew's fault the Lions stunk for all these years. I legitimately believe this. They would have lost every single game last season.
But you're a Lions fan, so why can we trust you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
He's a dude. Just trust me. I'm going to be more nervous watching Rams games this season than I am watching Lions games.
There it is.
Always number one.
There it is.
But the Rams this season will be number 2, and I think a lot of people that are Lions fans will agree with me on that one.
Yeah. I hope he has success out there because I'm a big fan of the way he plays football.
Yeah, would you guys put, I don't know what the betting odds are, but do you think they're the favorites with the Seahawks and the Niners and the Cardinals in there?
That Niners team, I mean, Orlovsky said, "What are we even playing Jimmy G for?"
Yeah.
In the first hour, he said all 5 guys drafted to start game 1 or whatever. And my first thought was like, Jimmy G? He just put Trey in there. He's like, what are you wasting time for? Basically, if Trey's gonna be your guy, put him in there and all that. And I didn't get a chance to really follow up on that because he was talking about Mac Jones and Cam Newton in beautiful fashion. But the Niners, if Trey Lance is, who they traded multiple picks for, Kyle Shanahan said, "Hey, this is the guy I want." He said. I think I heard Shanahan say in an interview, I don't know who he was talking to, but I read the article, and I wish I could give credit to who the interview was with. I apologize. That's on me. I should be given credit. But Kyle Shanahan basically said there was a situation that was situational where Kirk Cousins could have been our quarterback in San Fran. I had history with him. I knew him. He knew the offense. We were trying to get him. We did not get him. So everybody automatically assumes that was the person that I want. I wanted Kirk Cousins. He was like, at that moment, that was because of how it was. I could see it going that way. Basically, was what he was saying. He said, yeah, you need a pocket passer, but if they can move too, it opens up so many more things. So he alluded to the fact that he wanted Lance immediately upon trading up, and he wanted to add that in there, and everybody thought it was Jones because the Kirk Cousins thing, and he was just sitting back laughing at everybody. But it was very secret on who they were taking. That never got out. I'm almost impressed at this point with their circle of people, not letting anybody know what they're thinking. But I guess he really wants them, and that team's fucking loaded too. So it's not, you know what I mean? Like that.
So are the Cardinals though. Let's see if Kyler stays healthy with the Cardinals. Like, how good can they be?
What are the best divisions right now?
That one.
That's got to be one.
The North, AFC North.
is
Yeah.
right up there too.
Because Dan said the AFC East, low-key top division.
What? The Jets are still in the division. What are
I
we
gave
talking
him.
about?
I believe there was a couple things he said today where I was like, Dan, I'm sure the film that you watched says what you're saying right now, and you have arguments for that, but I've never heard anybody say that, and I never thought that in my entire life. So it's hard not to do it. Well, but there's a reason Dan thinks. He thinks Miami. Hey, Dan said he thinks Miami, if they got Aaron or if Tua plays well, he said he thinks they could go win Super Bowl.
Really? I mean, I guess, are they one? I don't know if I'd have to watch more of what they do and see what Tua looks like too.
By the way, that's what I said. I said I haven't watched the film on the Dolphins. If you're saying,
it's up to Tua though. Tua is going to have to be spectacular for them to get to the Super Bowl.
He said if Aaron got traded to the Dolphins, they'd win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so you agree that the Dolphins win a Super Bowl, they get Aaron Rodgers?
I think they definitely have a good chance. They're in the handful of teams that can do it.
I think if you have Aaron Rodgers, and what you're saying is, of course, yeah, if you have Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, you're going to be in it, which takes us back to the point. Hey, Mark Murphy. Come on. What are we doing these stand-up bits for, pal? Get over it, okay? Your ego is probably affected because a guy who's considered one of the smartest humans to ever play in the NFL and is going to be on the Mount Rushmore in the history of the sport, potentially has some ideas and opinions. Get over it, dude. This is a guy you need. Oh, you've had Brett Favre there, then you had Aaron. Aren't you fucking lucky, okay? That ain't how it always goes, pal. And the shit end of the tree is not too far away from the penthouse, pal. Just want to let you know that fall can come quick. Why? I don't. Everybody I talk to that has had coaching or front office experience or anything, they're like, you got Aaron Rodgers on the team. You don't fucking, hey, whatever you get, hey, Aaron, whatever you fucking need. Now, everybody said that about Tom Brady, too. And, the Patriots, like, get the fuck out. And guess what? Won a Super Bowl. Okay, so that's like, I don't know. Peyton Manning. We got Andrew Luck, which is very nice. Okay, very he won a Super Bowl. Okay, so it's like, what are we doing here? And how does it change, AJ? Just ask deeper. How does it change? Mark Murphy's always going to be in charge of the Packers until he decides he's not in charge of the Packers anymore? Is that how that whole thing goes?
Right. I don't know exactly how, and I know there's a board. I don't know if they could how it works when it comes to like bringing in a new president or if they had to get rid of him. I have no clue how that process is. But what does worry me is with Mark Murphy coming out and saying this again, like another public thing after he makes all these statements. I would assume they're talking behind the scenes. Like this can't help the negotiations or whatever they have going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I would assume it gets a little bit more difficult. What's so complicated? Mark? Imagine Aaron saying that at the next meeting. Man. Hey, what's so complicated? What if he has an entire pitch deck about how things that have had, since it's complicated, let me go ahead and just go ahead and sit down, Mark.
Spell it out.
Maybe in front of the entire board too. Maybe in front of everybody that's on that board. This is what my problem is, and we can maybe fix this. Slide 10. All right, look at this son of a bitch here. What's that look? Jordy Nelson, probably one of the greatest players of all time. He was going to play for free. Turn laser pointer. What were you thinking about that, Mark? Fucking get out, right?
Well, I didn't really think that he could do anything else.
Okay, see, bingo. By the way, he would have played for free, would have been able to be good. Also, a guy that I absolutely love to play football with, which, by the way, I know it doesn't matter. I mean, kind of, though, because I am the quarterback and I'm on the field. And, let's go to slide 22. Here is a memo that you sent out, Mark, right? That I'm dividing the fan base. Are you not dividing the fan base too here, Mr. Murphy? I could have phrased that differently. Oh, speaking of phrasing things differently, let's go to slide 23 now. Here's is that how that would have to go? Is that board would have to be the ones that say, like, Mark, you got to stop acting the way you're acting. Aaron will try to do this, and you got to stop doing this. Who is the adult in the room if the president is involved in an ownerless sport, in an ownerless team? Who's the adult?
I don't know. I honestly have I don't know. I don't know who Mark Murphy, I guess, would report to. He technically reports to the shareholders, like if he's the president, CEO.
Ty. Sit down, Mark Murphy, as a shareholder and owner of how does and Aaron, by the way, listen, I'm assuming there's some things that if there was somebody who could be like, all right, that understandable, can't happen, that see what you can't happen. Like there has,
there's an executive board. I don't know how many people it is, and I know that I think they may be who Mark Murphy. I'm guessing.
Who voted those people into the board?
I'm not sure, but it is like a lot of big time people all over the country sometimes when they're in there. But like, I just wonder, they can't be really. Are they divided on what they should do with Aaron? That's what I'm wondering. I'm guessing every one of them's like, hey man, we're getting calls from every sponsor we have. They all want to know what's going to happen. Like everybody wants to know. We need to figure this out.
This is the executive board of the Packers here. I'm just finding out now. Who voted these people in? Is this Mark Murphy's Avengers? Like who?
Yeah.
Clowns. Whoa. We don't know if they're clowns.
They look like it. And they're acting like it.
I mean, they are acting like it. I mean, at some point, you got to put clown suit down and fucking do the work that you're asked to do or whatever and handle this situation. And maybe they are, but does Aaron have any photos like this? I would assume he's up against it a little bit when it comes to who has say in what goes on where. You know what I mean?
Was it Rap Sheet who said the most powerful job that's not an owner is the Packers GM?
Andrew Brandt said that the Packers GM job is the most powerful GM job in the NFL because you can basically just go say, hey, I'm doing this. And they go, is it for the good of the team? Yep. Fucking do it.
So Gutekunst is kind of
I don't know. That's the thing. Like
that's what's interesting too, though. Is like Gutekunst isn't saying anything publicly. He's kind of like Mark Murphy has kind of come into the spotlight and just taken all this shrapnel off his plate.
Mark Murphy. Yes! No! Just like addressing the whole situation. Does he have another memo he has to drop into anybody's emails or anything like that?
Well, and also like. Do you think that I don't think that the board
Everybody's
would
going to say we're holding Aaron Rodgers' water right now, but come on, like when you listen to this situation, like you might think Aaron is being a complete diva about the situation. There is no other circumstance.
Who cares if he was? Who cares if he was, which he's not? He is that good. He could do whatever he wants.
Bingo. That's what I'm saying. There's no other situation like this where an owner who is directly profiting off of the greatness of somebody, who has done business with somebody for a long, long time, money exchanged, earned flow from both sides, what the future could look like, things that have happened in the past that have been mismanaged. Whenever if the owner was directly involved in those conversations, then it's kind of tough maybe, but at least the owner can say, hey, we were wrong, I was wrong in the past, let's change it, make it right. If the president and the GM and these people are your potential adversaries in decisions that are being made or in contract negotiation or whatever, and they have all the power and they don't answer the people's money that they're using, I mean, that's a wild position and predicament to be in, especially when you're talking about, by all accounts, like GOAT, one of the GOATs of football. It's a wild situation.
Well, and if we go off what Andrew Brandt said, like I don't think the board is going to be tossing Mark Murphy out anytime soon. He said they defer to football, so you would assume that whatever Mark Murphy and Gutekunst are telling them, they're like, all right, yep, sounds good. That's what we're going to do.
Is there any, Nick, what do you have back there?
So those 7 folks right there are the executive committee of the board. The board is actually made up of close to 50 people, I believe. And those people...
Constituents. There's like constituents.
Those people on the board are voted in by the shareholders every year.
Okay, wow. So here we go. So there's a 50...
Give or take,
There's
approximately
50 board members, and then there's 7 positions. I'd assume there's a chief. That's
president, vice president, etc.
Bingo. Okay. All right. So that makes sense. So Murphy's a part of that group then, right?
Yes, he's the president.
Oh, my God.
If you keep coming out and trying to spin a narrative, though, and Rodgers isn't saying anything, it's just so obvious what you're trying to do.
Is there any chance that Mark Murphy's a big, dumb dipshit and has no idea that this could potentially be
100%?
Yeah. Is there any chance?
100%.
Would it be better, though? Hey, would it be better if he didn't realize in the moment when he says these things, like, oh, it's not going to be great?
Oh, fuck, Aaron. Hey, listen, I was just talking. I get going. The crowd was, hey. What do you want? Like, is that potentially happening? I've never really talked to the guy. I don't think. I think when I called the game, I got to shake his hand or whatever. How you doing? Keep it moving at the practice walkthrough. He was very nice to me, but if there's no way he doesn't know that everything he says is going to get. Because you're talking about Aaron fucking Rodgers here. You know what I mean? Like if this was, no offense to any of these quarterbacks I'm about to list. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, come on.
I'm not going to do it. But if this was insert name of quarterback that you are thinking of immediately for what I'm about to say. This is not that big of a deal. This is a, hey, shut up. Get out of the, Jared Goff. If Jared Goff was doing this, everybody would be like, okay, yeah. All right, Jared. No offense to Jared, but different situation. If Sam Darnold was doing this, people would be like, okay, no offense to Sam, you might be great, but if Drew Lock was doing, if you just go, Taysom Hill even, Jameis, whoever, if you just go through a quarterbacks that are trying to get to the pinnacle of this entire game, this wouldn't be a big deal. But since you're talking about somebody who is the MVP of the league, and it's everything you say about said person, especially with the situation that's going on, is going to get out there. There's no way Mark Murphy doesn't know that, right? He's not. There's no way he's that out of touch. There's no way, right?
I mean, if he didn't, I sure hope he realizes it now. But yeah, there's no way because he can't escape it. Like, he lives in Green Bay. I'm sure everywhere he goes when he leaves his house. Luckily for him, the Green Bay fans are the nicest people on the planet. But they're probably like, hey, Mark, we got to figure this and figure it out with number 12. Like they're all just throwing like pepper. And I'm like, what do you think's going to happen?
He's just going.
We're trying. We're working.
He's going down Oneida. Okay, stopping by the fish market. You know, hey, toss me one of them fish. I assume they do. Grabs it. Yep. What are we doing with 12? What are we doing with 12? I don't know, man. Put it back in the bag. Walk it off. It's big fish markets up there in Green Bay.
Yeah. Basically like mini Seattle over there.
Oh, see, I just think really cold.
Yeah.
I just think of fish flying when it's really cold. That's. I guess they don't do a lot of fishing up there? There's not a lot of fishing?
There's a lot of fishing. There's just not the old big fish throwing scene that I've found, at least when I was there.
Different season.
Maybe it's there. Maybe I just didn't notice. I didn't check the back channels.
Kind of bum, man. Maybe a good market start up there.
Maybe that brings Raj back.
He goes, maybe. You know, maybe it's 12's fish toss or whatever, like the grocery store. You're right. Everywhere he goes, he has to hear about it. But I would assume everybody tells him because of how nice they are, he'll handle it. Hey, you're doing the right thing. Yeah. Whatever you got. Just like old Bob said. Bob said outside of right across from the stadium, it says, Aaron, go pack, basically. I feel like the town, because Aaron's not there right now, has the town maybe started swaying in old Mark Murphy? And then when he comes out and says this stuff, they go, oh, Mark, God. Like, is there any?
See, I don't know.
Is there a sway back in that thing?
I think a lot of people at this point are taking what you mentioned, like, oh, Roger, he's being a diva. Like, I think a lot of people are starting to come around to the side that, like, hey, listen, the Packers have done everything they could.
Not what me thinks.
Yeah.
And Orlovsky's thinks. Did you see that tweet from Orlovsky earlier, AJ?
Yeah, I loved it. Pure Dane right there.
Sick. Well.
Hey, we have. Did Zito tell you we have Aaron's teammate coming on at 2:45? So we might have to switch him from Sirius to YouTube.
Okay. Do you want to make the announcement because this is AJ Hawk's booking?
I mean, the announcement. Yeah, Justin Takatari will be here.
Let's go! Fresh out of a weekend that saw a picture of him hit the internet where he was smaller than 4 high schoolers, which might be the largest high school offensive line in America, towering over all-pro left tackle Justin Takatari. He will be joining us. I cannot wait to chat with him. How's he doing? Does he have anything to say about this, you think? Does he even remember this? Yeah?
Oh, this picture? Yeah, of course. I asked him, I sent him a text, asked if his dad, Crazy Carl, is just the father of every kid in his hometown. He's like, oh, he is a legend, so I don't know. They're growing big now.
Oh, that is awesome. Let's get to a break. Oh, man. I forgot about your relationship with the Bakhtiari family, the entire situation.
Oh, yeah. They are an absolute, the whole bunch, top to bottom, unbelievable characters. In that picture, too, what's weird, I know the series people can't see it, Takatari is an absolute mammoth of a human, and these high school kids are all bigger than him.
Massive. You know, this kind of illustrates my point that I've been saying for a long time. Seen a lot of people come into a locker room that look great, have the size, the speed, everything. They just can't play football that good.
Yeah.
Got it. That guy in the middle of this photo, at this point, now these are teenagers, okay, so this is unfair, but if you were to look at this group of people and, Jesus.
Okay, who is this?
Bruno Mars?
This is Mark Maxwell, dude.
Marky.
Anyways, when you look at this group, you're like, oh, that one in the middle, probably the worst one. Nope. 300 times better than because of experience in football IQ. All those guys, and I think this is a big moment for them, actually. All those guys now know, like, okay, I am by far built to be an offensive lineman in the NFL. Now, if I make it or not, it's on me. And that's a pretty cool moment. But if you're Bakhtiari, you got to think, man, I'm probably on borrowed time with these big motherfuckers. These big motherfuckers coming behind me, right, AJ?
I mean, I would love to transfer to his high school and play running back beyond those dudes.
Oh, that's like now, Derrick Henry, obviously incredible. Mark Ingram is having a good career. Of
course.
But those Alabama running backs back in the day, their third string at Alabama offensive line was just like picking up and moving little gumpies on defensive lines and just throwing them out of the way. Good for Sarah. Is that Sarah Catholic? Is that Sarah County?
I'm not sure what it is, actually.
Sarah City?
Sarah Prep?
Hey, Gump. Is Gump there?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Shout out to you in your Fidel Castro costume today, man. You look good.
Oh, come on.
Is that what he's going for?
I think so.
Viva la Cuba!
This fucking guy.
Are you honoring Z?
That's not how you do it. That is not how you do it, Gumpy. Jesus.
Fucking guy can't match his shirt and his hat. AJ, grow up.
Is that why you were bossing me around earlier?
Oh, jeez. Let's get to a break. AJ.
It's all coming together now.
What's your problem, AJ?
Okay, Google image search Fidel and tell me he's not wearing the exact same thing Gump's wearing
All right, let's put them right next to each other right now. We'll wait.
Beard similar.
Good Lord.
This is very...
Fidel would wear a green hat, green shirt, too.
And I don't know if Fidel would wear these shoes, but he'd definitely put on the black sweats if he had to get busy out there being a dick.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Got to be able to move, be mobile. I don't even know if... They got to build an entire graphic.
Foxy doesn't have pictures of Fidel Castro on his...
Well, who knows what AJ Hawk's cookies look like?
True.
Honestly.
Oh, God. Man.
Who knows what the cookies are on his? He probably was able to, as he saw Gumpy, he probably just looked at his phone and was like, favorite photo, bam.
There it is.
There it is. He looks exactly like that son of a bitch. That's what you did.
No, it's because I... Yeah, okay, here we go.
Jeez. Oh, my God. Gump!
What?
Needed to make a change during the break. What have you done?
I got a hat in my bag.
We are an international show. Oh, jeez. AJ.
Communism?
AJ, thanks for bringing that to light now that I think about it. Really, really appreciate you bringing that to light.
You're welcome. The camera cut to him. I was like, oh, what's Fidel doing here?
You're back in 4 minutes. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Jeez. I was told by Del Curry, Scottie Pippen struggles on a golf course, right?
Right.
I was told at that thing that I'm going against Scottie Pippen the next day, match play, heads up, one-on-one Scottie Pippen. So we decide, like, okay, we probably have a couple drinks, stay at the casino a little bit longer than we should.
Representing the NFL out of the Shoeless Golf Club of America, Pat McAfee. His opponent, representing the NBA, Scottie Pippen.
You know what I mean? This guy's got 6 rings. Yeah. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. But today he's going to play against me. And then I start seeing Scottie hit some shots that are just like starting to come together. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I think I was lied to.
We were lied to yesterday. We were told Scottie Pippen was a terrible golfer. Bro, he's Scottie fucking Pippen.
Going in the back 9, I think I was down 1. Like, we were battling. But I started making putts. And Scottie Pippen went ahead and got real hot. I mean, real fucking hot. I was down 3 with 7 left. And I looked right in the camera. And I go,
So we're down 3 with like 7 holes left. Scottie Pippen's about to get this work.
Scottie Pippen from 190 yards out just fucking dunks it. Fucking boom, bang, and then walks up to the green, gets the ball, cameras on him, and he goes, Pippen ain't easy. Kidding me?
All right, down 4 with 6 left after Scottie Pippen just chips him from fucking 400 yards out.
I was fucking demoralized.
Pippen ain't easy.
By the way, best he's ever performed at golf, because I'm around, better teammate than Jordan.
Yep.
People forget. Oh, yeah, I told Del, I was like, Del, what the fuck you lying to me? He was like, well, I saw it yesterday. He was not great. And Greg Anthony told me, and I was like, Del, he
buried me, Del Curry. He buried me. He was like, hey, Pippen ain't easy.
Yes, baby, it's time to celebrate.
Talking about a shotgun of beer after he had beat me. Obviously, I like teach him how to do it.
Yeah, put a hole in there. It might spread a little bit, so.
Yeah, so you're gonna go here, and then you're gonna open and flip up. Does that make sense? Congrats on winning the NBA a couple times, blah, 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 blah. And being an incredible golfer. Thanks, Paul. Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Hey. Hey.
Hey. Damn.
Okay,
That's the
Scotty.
best Bud Light I ever had.
Hey, there's no Scott King up here.
You right.
Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Touchdown error is its second.
Tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand, too, so that's cool, sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. That was good. Oh, that was I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
Oh, yeah. Only one thing. These are it. Welcome back to the show. Hey, it's time to spoil the shit out of your dog with BarkBox. Yeah. 2 toys, 2 treats, and a chew. It starts as low as $22 a month for $60 worth of dog chews and toys. It's the best day of the month for our dogs. When their BarkBox arrives, guess what starts happening? You boys know.
Tails start wagging.
Wow. Noses start. The ears do the thing that says, hey, I'm happy to be here. Thank God. Is that a BarkBox? My life has been saved by my humans who got me something that comes every single month without even having to think about it. You're a hero, dog, dad, or mom once a month from our friends at BarkBox. Isn't that right?
That is exactly right.
You know, Sam is Snow White.
Sure.
My wife. Literally holding woodpeckers and birds in her hand, feeding deer in the property, raccoons, obviously dogs, cats, frogs, mice, fox, and everything else that we have.
Hey, anything she doesn't mess with? Is there an animal she'll stay away from?
Nah, bugs though, holy shit, you know? Holy shit.
Insects.
This thing, this big, oh my God, shut it down. But if a bear was to come through the backyard, you know, Grizz, Polar, Dahn, whatever bear, she's sprinting down that hill trying to give a fucking little beef jerky or something. I don't know. But if it's a bug this big, gotta come, no matter where you're at,
eliminate it.
Come kill this
Burn
thing.
it down.
So I guess no animal she won't fuck with, but those bugs are a real problem, especially these goddamn cicadas.
Yeah, my God.
Join now and get a free extra toy in every box this year from BarkBox. That's $60 worth of toys for free when you sign up your pup and get unique toys and snacks, plus a free extra toy every month. Tailored toys and treats, ship free every month. Start now and get $60 in extra free toys. Feel like they're hammering that home because it is
a great deal.
Big deal. Unique toys, USA made treats, free monthly delivery, and $60 in free extra toys this year when you go to barkbox.com/Pat. That's BARKBOX.com/Pat. And what I was saying is, my wife is the hero to all these animals, but when the BarkBox comes once a month, I am the captain now.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's around me like I'm a goddamn, animal whisperer. Like I'm that guy, Caesar.
Yep.
He did a lot of that.
It works.
Somehow that's roll over. I don't know how the motherfucker ever got them to do that shit. I don't know how he did it. It was really impressive, but that's what I'm like when the BarkBox arrives, because I am
the hero. AJ, Fidel has added to his costume. He has not changed it. But as we are looking at Gumpy, Fidel, I would like to ask him, we won hard at the Euros earlier.
Yeah. Sad, really.
Well, that's the thing, because we were thinking the sad thing was how we felt whenever you built up this goddamn tournament to be
that
creme de la creme.
That Netherlands-Ukraine game yesterday was incredible.
What? So what? You don't know? You know all these players? Is that why you
Yeah.
like? We don't know a single one. Is there
Not
any
one.
players we're supposed to know? Yeah, you watch every single game, every single league. You're the best gambler on, which, by the way, I love. I've made a lot of money off of these soccer people that I know nothing about because of you. Now, your guy did fade you immediately upon it was your time to shine, like your Super Bowl kind of shit on you. But you still won 6-0 to start the Euros. Now you're losing today, I guess. But these games, am I supposed to know these people, or am I just supposed to appreciate the team?
I mean, Austria, North Macedonia. I mean, I get it.
That's on TV, though. It's hard.
Good Lord.
But like Netherlands, Ukraine, there's a lot of good players on Netherlands, some good players on Ukraine. And then tomorrow you got Cristiano playing.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, yeah. Portugal's going tomorrow. Then you got Germany,
Hey,
France.
Cristiano Ronaldo from the Madeira Islands, by the way.
Oh, okay. That's the one. Where the hell is North Macedonia?
Well, that's fun because I think that was the team that I saw on the scoreboard thing that I didn't know who.
Sure.
I said, who the fuck is that?
Hey, Gump, would Gump watch these if he didn't bet on them, though?
Yeah, I mean, I watch every sport, no matter what, AJ. I mean, that's just kind of.
Well, and that's why he's a good bettor, by the way, because I think he's the only person that does watch. Even
Good
though
for you. It's tough to get engaged when you don't know anyone or anything about it. It's tough to like have a reason to watch.
Well, I think he's watched it for so long, he does know people now, right? But to get into it is quite an aggressive move because I think those soccer hooligans, the big soccer fans, they have their team that they are diehard for.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been in a PSG stadium. I mean, the French are in trouble right now, but I've been in Bayern Munich stadium, okay? We're talking flares and drums, and it's insanity. Like the walk to the stadium before the game, awesome. The walk out afterwards, awesome. I've gotten a chance to experience it. But they don't watch every game for everybody, do they? I feel like you might be one of the only humans that watches every league, it feels like, and almost every single player. How do you do it? And when I'm watching that Northern Macedonia team play, how are you not just snoozing through that entire thing? Am I watching soccer wrong? How should I be watching it, you
I think the first round of this tournament, they're cagey, right? There hasn't been too many goals.
Yes.
Once you get to like the elimination rounds, that's when business is going to pick up. Maybe you wait till then if you're not too entertained just yet.
So there's quarterfinals, semifinals, championships?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the college
KG means boring, right?
Cagey just means like nobody wants to make a mistake, AJ. Like
So no scoring.
A lot of unders are hitting early in the tournament is what's happening.
So
AJ.
no fun, AJ. said.
Confirmation.
Yeah.
Well, nobody. You could lose the first game of the tournament and you're done, right? Nobody wants to lose the first game of
Or you
any
could win
tournament.
9-0 and win the crowd.
Yeah, and actually move some jerseys and some needles, maybe. You know what I mean? Instead,
And if you lose, no one's going to know.
Bingo. Nobody's watching the team win or lose because there's. I mean, I'd assume that the numbers are big for the Euros worldwide.
Massive.
I'm saying in America, not everywhere else. America.
I mean, maybe not in Ohio, AJ.
I would like to see the Ohio ratings of the Euros.
What do you mean? The Columbus Crew people are juiced about the Columbus Crew new stadium's about to open. They can't wait.
Yeah,
Not a
they're-
single player of the Columbus Crew is in this thing, right?
Yeah, they wouldn't sniff this tournament.
No. Are you kidding me, dude? All I'm seeing is all the. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know.
Search.
They probably have a
say,
few guys.
search how many MLS players are in this tournament, AJ.
Well, that's because they're deciding to hold it against us that we're the CONCACAF champions.
That's right.
They don't want to represent the future World Cup champs. They don't want to put us over. They don't want America to be a part of this whole thing. Wait till we take it. You don't want to give it? We will take it. Hell yeah.
Best of luck, my friend.
For some perspective,
They also
600 million watched the final of the Euros in 2016.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
How many in the U.S.?
Everybody said.
Five in
It's a
Columbus,
big world,
Ohio.
AJ.
Yeah,
I know
but
it's a big
also.
world. That's what I'm saying. Soccer is gigantic worldwide, but not as, for some reason, it won't catch on here in America.
I think it's because all those countries didn't get to see our football.
Because you can't put the crown of your helmet in somebody's jaw. Am I right, AJ? Yeah.
Yeah. Still can't
6
do it.
million in the U.S.
That's exactly what I thought.
We promote heads up football. 6 million. That's awesome. All right.
That's awesome. Yeah.
I'll be one of those 6 million watching the final. I tried to watch this weekend. I'm just saying, God damn.
I'm a fan of the U.S. team because it gives me a reason to be invested. I know some of the players, but it's hard when I don't know any players on the team.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, AJ, I don't know if we are the majority of opinions, but Dumpy's the only one basically that,
I think with any sport, though, if you don't start from an early age, I don't think you pick up many sports later in your life that you love.
AFL. Excuse me. Aussie rules football was something.
AFL's been really good this year.
It has. The Collingwood coach actually just hung up his.
Oh no!
Yeah,
hung up his scarf.
I think he did. And also, I mean, I'll watch the shit out of speed walking.
Oh yeah.
When the Olympics come around, have you ever seen that, AJ? There's a lot of sports I've picked up here later in life, but passionate fan base you're talking about, yeah.
Hey, 87 days. Week 1. We're almost there.
Oh, my God. Let's go, dude.
Here we go.
Hey, that's a good stat. I watch the Euros. I want to let you know. And I appreciate you, making money for us, gambling-wise, giving us picks in this whole thing. But I try to be as supportive as I possibly could to a sport I played for a long time that I was never able to watch then because, a lot more is going on. And because you're here and we're making money off it, I feel like I should at least invest in it. I cannot do it. But 87 days till the NFL. Let's go.
Hey! Right around the corner.
87 days. Hey, 87 days for you to donate enough money to get the old mayor to open up that stadium there in Indy.
Yeah, listen, we are 87 days away from a deadline potentially on whether or not a full stadium will be able to, possibly exist in the only city that has said no in the NFL, Indianapolis. But, things are looking up. I walked into some places, no masks.
Ooh.
Feels like there's a chance there's a little bit of a rollover. Now, they are doing the honor code, so not hurting. We have to get to a certain percentage to have life again, but we're going to do honor code, and don't even think about potentially winning something. No way, we don't do that around here.
No,
go get your arm dapped up with some shit so we can, stuff that stadium. You want a full Lucas Oil, huh? You like football? You better go get a shot.
Get the ouchie.
It's kind of what's been going on everywhere. I'll be excited to see how this part of history is talked about 20 years from now, 30 years from now.
100 years from now, even. I wonder if.
Bro, I saw a door. We saw a door. We have a picture of it. Vaccinated people this way, non-vaccinated people this way.
Oh, yeah. Where?
Hey, listen. That is going to be seen at some point.
Yeah.
But that was why we are going to talk about this part of time right now. Mm-hmm. A long, long time from now, I think.
Some of you. I mean, if you got it, you got 15 years.
What's that?
That's true.
If you got the vaccine, you have 15 years.
For what?
Well, I heard from a guy.
Oh, Jesus.
15 years?
I'm sorry. I did not know that because I just got a heads. I didn't hear what you were saying. I should have known that was the case.
15 years for what?
All right.
Hey, got the studies right here.
Johns Hopkins did them.
Jizz line. Anyways, joining us now, very much different than that conversation. Thank God. Thank God. All-pro left tackle. I believe the highest paid left tackle at one point. I don't know if he still is. Might have to renegotiate. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Green Bay Packers in AJ Hawk booking, David Bakhtiari. Yay! How's it going, beer chugger, man? What's going on?
Good. Just got done grocery shopping. Just got home. I got these two little rascals playing in front of me, so I apologize in advance.
What are their names?
Probably the barking that's going to ensue. They just happen to love fighting right at my feet.
Hey, that's good. Make the house be competitive around there. Every toy is needed. You should go to barkbox.com/pack. Get a free extra toy in every box this year. Bakhtiari, thank you so much for joining us. The initial reason why I was so fascinated talking to you is because that photo of those high school offensive linemen, what were your thoughts as these teenagers surrounded you and looked down upon you during this photo? This is insane. Is this where you're from? And are these guys all going to Alabama next year, I assume?
Well, they're juniors and seniors, and I met them outside my favorite hometown breakfast spot, Christie's, in Burlingame. I've been going there since I was their age. But yeah, I felt like a kind of an alpha move was when we took the photo and they put their arm over my shoulder. And I wasn't going to go for a competitive, no, my arm goes on top of you. So I kind of got, I got alpha. I got put in a beta situation. I didn't know how to get out of it. And I didn't want to be caught in a move where I'm competing against, these are still teenagers at the time, right now. So I had to just I had to take the L on that one, and And then I just let Twitter absolutely roast me for being a tiny, I guess, a linebacker.
Imagine if that guy starts doing this, by the way. Imagine if he just starts batting you on the head. Oh, my. That would have been amazing. I assume those kids are nice. Go ahead, AJ. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm wondering how your rehab is coming, man. How's your ACL doing? How many months out are you from surgery? For some reason, we don't get to hear as much about your rehab because there's a couple other things happening in the Green Bay area.
There's still nothing to talk about on that front. But thank you very much for asking, AJ. It's going really well. I'm about at the halfway point. It's been really good. I'm really excited with the progress I've been making from having Tommy out here and Proactive. Shout out Practice Sports Performance out here in LA to the guys in the athletic training room. Shout out Nate Weir, Flea, the guys.
Shout out
Andrew Lama, DiPietro Paulo. So it's been really nice. I got a great support staff and. It's coming along pretty well. I mean, I'm excited with where I'm at.
Is this your first ACL?
Yes. This is actually my first really big injury.
Oh, so is this first real serious rehab? Sucks so bad. Nobody talks about it. It is a fucking nightmare, dude. It is terrible.
Yeah, it gave me a whole newfound respect. Brian Balaga, me and him both played tackle for the Packers for a long time. He tore both his ACLs, and I kind of feel bad the shit I was giving him when he's coming back, and now I totally understand where he's coming from. So I respect the hell out of him that much more.
You got to teach your knees how to walk again and every muscle that surrounds it. So good luck with that. Hey, I know Packers fans are pumped to hear Bakhtiari will be back.
Wow! Yes!
Now, Takatari, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if we know each other that well. Bakhtiari, Mr. Bakhtiari. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if we know each other that well. Bakhtiari, Mr. Bakhtiari. I have to.
No. You're cool with AJ. You can call me Takatari.
Yes! Woo! By the way, did you get kicked out of the Kentucky Derby crew? No, you were there. No, you weren't there. Were you there? No, you weren't there.
No, I was there. I was there. Again, this was, this is the off season for Aaron. He needs all the attention. So,
hey, how do you feel about this? Hey, how do you feel about this? You don't have to give me a real answer, and I would never want to put you in a gotcha situation, but as a teammate and a friend, you see this shit happening, you have to, and you're just like, I know like the business side of it is always separated in the locker room. It's like, hey, he's got to handle his business, he's got to handle his business. But it's fucking weird what's going down right now on your team. That has to be, I mean, obviously you got to worry about your own stuff, but that is interesting, I'd assume, as a teammate of Aaron in that whole situation as well.
Yeah, the Packers are kind of notoriously known for not having a lot of controversy or drama in the offseason. So it's definitely new and uncharted territories for me, being there for as long as I have. And, I mean, hey, I'm just along for the ride. I got my popcorn. I'm kind of enjoying what's going to happen, what's going to go down. And, I got a front row seat to how everything's going to unfold. So I think it's I'm not going to say it's ideal. I don't say I love it from, like, a coworker's perspective. But, I mean, I think we'll all figure it out. And once I think come late July, early August, I think we'll get a good idea of how this thing's going to unfold.
Yeah, who knows right now, by the way. And that's why if you gave any other answer, the whole world would explode, because I don't think anybody has a clue what's going on right now. What do you have, Ty?
David, recently I think AJ sent you a package and you posted a picture of it and ended up, I think, kind of doxing and putting his address out there. He deleted it and then reposted it. AJ was oblivious to it, but what happened during that little situation there?
So I was actually I was a little worried when AJ texted me. Again, no hellos, just more like, what's your address?
Oh.
So I have no idea what's coming. But it was actually very nice. He sent me some Asylum cigars that I need to try. I have not tried them yet.
Oh, very nice.
But yeah, I'm not really very tech savvy, so I kind of thought I was doing the right thing. And then I have everyone blowing me up saying I just put my address out there, and I don't know if it could be shown or not. So I was like, I'm going to be conservative. I'll just delete this and then redoctor the photo. Just to make sure, but I just thought it was hilarious that I can't believe you put Justin Takatari and it actually showed up at my doorstep.
Incredible.
You think the FedEx and the post office people don't know that's your name in there? Justin, that's what you live there. You're part of the community, man.
Well, I mean, I guess I just missed that name being said around the facility. I kind of enjoyed it. It kind of humbled me, and it's,
Justin, that's the thing, though. All the people that would do that, turns out they just get fired or cut and released. So maybe that name should die in the building.
Hey, hold on, Pat. Justin, what was minicamp like without Aaron there? I know you're not taking part, but you were rehabbing and everything. What was the vibe? Did it feel weird?
I mean, yeah, definitely for me. I'm normally practicing and I'm not. But other than that, It's definitely different. I think the off seasons are changing. So if you were there, you'd be like, wow, this is so much more relaxed. This is
sounds awesome.
It's definitely going in the right direction. I don't think it's where it needs to be, but I think it's going in the right direction. But yeah, definitely different. Not to mention just the guys out there. There's a lot of young guys playing a lot of different positions. So as you know, we have a bunch of young guys, especially trying to practice not in pads, and young guys do not know how to practice without pads yet. It can tend to be pretty sloppy. So I think that's definitely an element. And then obviously not having, an MVP at quarterback that's been doing it for 16 years. He has a pretty high command in the huddle, so he can definitely operate the offense at a lot higher level. So that was one thing that I definitely noticed.
Has LaFleur looked as miserable as he is in press conferences all day at those practices?
No. I've seen a couple of those little clips where you could just see so much pain behind his eyes, but I think I got to tip my hat to him. He's been handling this very well.
Those dogs. Hey.
I mean, you should see this right now. They're just battling. This is a
let's go.
This is a constant fight.
Peter's coming for you.
The smaller dog has starstruck.
You guys get camera shy?
Oh, okay. They're not ready for the big lights. That's Fight Club. Don't talk about Fight Club. Can't thank you enough for joining us, David. You're the best, dude. Continued success on the rehab, and good luck this season.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, those high school kids they kind of did, Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, well, see you later. Appreciate that.
Thank you, David.
They did. Hey, did they not?
Yeah, I mean, they're absolute giants. How big is the one kid that in the blue shirt with his arm on it? Like, huge.
By the way, that's like a very comfortable arm over the shoulder. Yeah, it's not like he's lifting that up. That was like a down here.
And Brandon's stuck. He's like, man, I need to put my arms around these guys. What do I do? No, I'll just put them in front.
Brandon. AJ, SiriusXM ends in about 20 seconds for 6 minutes before Chris Mad Dog Russo. Anything to say to the Sirius listeners?
No, I'm good. Thank you, Pat.
You always look out for him, though. Anytime we're doing any photos, you're like, this must suck for the Sirius listeners. Then I ask you to speak to them, and you choose not to. Chris Mad Dog Russo is much better than us. Will be in 6 minutes. We're back tomorrow with another massive show. Be a friend, tell a friend. Got it. Wow. Got it. I think I slid in there underneath the tag. Thank you.
Pirates are doing well, right?
Shut up. Hey, man.
Hey, I love your tweets. The sell the team clips. It makes me like, oh, okay, maybe I'll see this one. And they seem to continue. They're getting worse. Like each one is like one step worse.
I did not expect this to be a series, but we are now going on series episode 4 now, just in a few weeks. And I don't love it. Hey, I don't love having to do it because inevitably, there's a full conversation about, hey, we should get this guy out of here that owns the team. And then all of a sudden, these Pirates bloggers and podcasters start attacking me for my knowledge of the team. Don't be a fan in 4 or 5 years when this team gets good or whatever. Oh, you don't know anything about baseball. Shut up. And it's like, true, but you know why I don't? Because the Pirates have stunk for so fucking long. That's why. I'm hoping the future me's in Pittsburgh could potentially watch a team represent the city and be good. And I don't think old Bob Nutting's going to do that. And I got a whole series to prove it. Sell the team on Twitter. Go ahead and search it. You'll find my tweets at the very top. They get a couple thousand retweets every time because the baseball tomfoolery that is happening for the Pirates is at a T-ball level. Yeah. I think it's a T-ball level, and they're getting paid a lot to do it. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it all works.
Well, and like you said, I mean, there's been 3 of these moments already. We still got about 3 weeks until the All-Star break. There's a lot of baseball left. You might have a 15, 16-parter by the end of the season.
Yeah, because they're only 11 games out.
Yeah,
first, I think.
Wow, that's right. It.
Only that's a 22-game swing you have to go on there, but there's another 150 games left still, so might be able to turn it around. But just sell the team, dude. Come on. At least let baseball be enjoyable in Pittsburgh.
I wouldn't sell them now. They need to be better so they're worth more. Then you can sell them.
They're a professional team. They're going to sell.
How do the bloggers stand up for what they see? I don't get how these Pittsburgh people can push the Pirates when they're doing this stuff.
What I've learned is not a lot of them live in Pittsburgh. By the way, I don't either. By the way, so I guess I can't. But I got somebody from Peoria, Illinois that told me I don't fucking understand. It's like, I guess you moved and just remained faithful to the Pirates. What's wrong with you, dude? What's wrong with you?
The Cubs.
That team stinks. Cubs have been good and bad since the time you've moved there.
Baby.
Huh?
First place, baby.
Who?
Cubbies.
Oh, fly the flag, pal.
Yeah. Fly W, baby.
Oh, there it is.
Almost there.
Flags up.
It's Flag Day.
Is it?
Is it? Yeah.
Oh, it's moment of silence. Flag Day. Reno 911. Guy on the roller skates. Terry. Super Terry. I think one time he does something or gets something, he says it was his favorite Flag Day. He got this gift in 9 blah 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 on his favorite Flag Day. Flag Day is a big day.
Yeah.
Huge.
Can I tell you about a flag that got shipped to this office that I'm incredibly honored about, but also like I'm not sure I recommend it. We have a lot of people that listen that are in the military, and by the way, shout out.
Thank you for your service.
Shout out. You know, somebody shipped us a normal. You know how in there's probably one in the office somewhere. Hopefully not on this desk because it doesn't deserve to be treated how most things on this desk have been treated. But you know how they send you the flag and the triangle thing? It's like, hey, this flag has been flown in honor of blah, 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 and you get the whole thing. It's very cool. It's every time I get one, I think it's absolutely awesome. Somebody sent us one, and it was a For the Brand flag.
Ooh.
And it was flown on a bomber or something like that over Afghanistan, I think. And I'm like, man, that's an incredible honor, but are you throwing us into a war potentially? Like, you know, like is somebody looking up like this motherfucker for the brand, this son of a bitch,
Bring me McAfee.
this son of a bitch. This was sent to us literally. Thank you. See? Yeah, it's one of our incredible honor.
That's so cool. Yeah.
So you know, it's one of those things. But just as I got CBD'd and vitamined up more, and I was like,
wait a minute,
did anybody see said flag? But here's the. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown across the skies of Africa and Afghanistan during combat missions from December 18th, 2020 to May 14th, 2021. A lot of sky time.
Let's go.
In support of Operation Octave Quartz and resolute support aboard a C-130J Super Hercules assigned to the 39th Expeditionary Airlift Squadron, call sign Torque 39.
Oh, Torque.
Tell you what, you call it an AC-130, that is business.
Yeah, you are playing no games.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. This is an incredible honor.
They didn't see that flag.
Pat and the boys, they did not see that.
No, if it's on a C-130.
That thing's going quick?
No, but they ain't seeing anything but...
It's not flying outside the
Yeah.
inside the airplane. It's probably pinned up
That
inside
thing
the airplane.
is destroying.
It's bad.
Hey, appreciate your service, man. Happy I'm not in a war. All right, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Super Hercules, is that what it said?
Its
in there?
nickname is Hell in the Sky.
Torque 39?
The C-130.
Torque 39? Jesus.
Bringing hellfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Let's
go.
Shit.
Let's go.
Hey, Photoshop the flag on there.
No. Listen, we don't need to hit that internet, I don't think.
I doubt anyone will do that.
All right, AJ. I mean, everything I just talked about potentially gets brought to life now with what you just said. But, hey, shout out, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Where was it? It was inside somewhere? Somebody wearing like a cape? That's awesome.
Like, hold out the window for a second or something?
I don't know if you just open the windows, can you? Or you open the back end of that thing?
There it is, yeah.
Cargo bay.
How about those people in those? Is that the plane where they open the back and they just run off the back of them, the SEALs or whatever they do? Or they just run and just sprint.
I mean, those planes carry like the president's limos, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, so this is one of them big boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because I've heard about people traveling over in those things where you have like an entire room. They have like an entire office.
They parachute boats out of those guys. Like when they got Captain Phillips,
Tanks.
they parachuted boats into the ocean out of planes like that.
So how does it fly? That big, got boats inside of it.
What, you see the thrust?
Yeah.
Thrust.
What are you, a science?
I was trying to do Ty's Bill McCombs voice.
Okay, great. But the thruster, I know how. There's no way that should be in the air. I mean, every time we hop on a plane, it makes no sense.
How does any plane fly?
Well, that's what exactly.
Question.
That's the question.
Yep.
First flight was in 1954. It's easy to load this thing. Easy to fucking get on and off here. It has a high wing design so you can get tanks underneath it, obviously. Can airdrop equipment or personnel. Roll on, roll off. Yeah, there's that ramp that they sprint off of. Wow, man, we're in one of those.
It's got the 4 jets on the front of it. 4 jets. Propellers, whatever the hell.
Quad turbo engines.
There it is.
I'm assuming it's more than quad turbo.
Yeah,
couple Hemis.
I assume there's a couple Hemis at work.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna worry about sitting around for a day or two. That C-130. That's a big boy, huh?
Oh yeah,
huge.
This thing just came from a mansion over there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
December to May. 6 months of this thing. Almost 6 months.
Combat missions?
I believe, yeah. Torque 39. Torque 39. And it's Tango, Octagon, Rear, Quitter, Unique, Edward, 3-9er. Is that the...
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bring the Hellfire.
Papa Alpha Tango. Don't you have to know that stuff? Don't you have to know stuff because you're a pilot?
I'm not a pilot, but
Whoa, 40 hours.
Yeah, I'm not a pilot. Yeah, I wish someday.
You've flown a solo mission though, up and down.
Yeah.
You're a pilot.
Okay, no, but yeah, I have taken off and landed by myself. Only me in the plane, yes, but I'm not a pilot.
Wow. All right, so you're not a pilot, but you're flying planes all by yourself, off the ground and back down to ground. Did you have any moments in the sky where you're like, I should not be doing this? Was there ever that, or was it just up, loop-de-loop, back down? Did you have to stall that thing out, or did you do anything cool with it? What'd you do?
Well, you do all that when the instructor's there, but no, they do like. They don't tell you when you're going to solo. So we were taking off, landing at different airports, and then all of a sudden you land, and he's like, all right, you got 3, buddy. And he gets out and walks off. And you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to solo now.
So don't you have to get on the headset and go, this is 1456 Papa Tango, and we would like their tail number. Don't you have to do that?
Yeah.
So you do know that. What's that alphabet called?
I don't know.
Come on.
You should not be in the sky. You are a liability. You are a liability, dude.
It's just Greek, right?
All right. It is not like how fraternities are made.
Greek.
Kappa Zeta Nu.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe they need to have Kappa Alpha Tango as a frat somewhere. Come join the cat, dude.
Is anybody in a frat there?
You know one person was
No,
for
sir.
sure.
Oh,
Mitt.
Yeah.
Had to have been.
That makes sense.
I think
You can't say frat though. You got to say fraternity.
I believe Bill was as well.
Oh, which one?
Whoa.
Dahmers.
Jeez.
What is that?
God.
Delta? Delta Octo?
Alpha.
He didn't deserve that, by the way. I mean, what am I going to do with this? I appreciate it.
Hang it up on the wall, man.
Well, I mean, we're moving. We're moving. I don't know what to do. We're in like an interesting...
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, on the Celsius fridge.
You put on top of the church.
Smart. Nah, somebody's got to take down the cross, though.
I'll take the drone up there.
All right.
Looks good up there. Yeah. It looks good up there.
All right.
I mean, it's going to fall down in about 10 minutes.
That thing's starting. Yeah. That's a good fridge. Great energy drink, too.
Delicious.
A great alternative. Has guarana, green tea, and ginger in it. Hashtag live fit with Celsius.
Love it.
Hey, why'd you bring up the Fidel Castro thing live on air? Couldn't have been a text?
What do you mean? It popped into my head as I saw him on the screen.
Oh, so you are starting to act like me on a microphone. Good. Just as things pop in your head. That's good.
I mean, are you not allowed to say that? I'm not allowed to say he's wearing a Fidel Castro costume when he has the beard to match?
To be honest, I'm not sure if we're allowed to talk about Fidel Castro on YouTube or not. I'm not sure this is a modern thing, but you're right. Whenever somebody cosplays Fidel, clearly it is hard not to talk about it. Gumpy, by the way, you did a fantastic job talking for the beautiful game earlier.
Thank you, sir. AJ doesn't respect fashion. He's come at me a few times now. I mean, he's cutting off sleeves of his long sleeves. He doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, you got a three-quarter, which is potentially innovative in the fashion game. But you're right. There's no reason to be attacking Gumpy's.
I'm not attacking. That was not attacking. And
I'll call somebody Fidel Castro.
Interesting.
Okay, if I come dressed exactly like somebody else, some other dictator, you can feel free to tell me, hey, bud, you look just like this guy.
So I never wear this hat again, AJ? Would that make you
can
happy?
wear it, but
Just
when
wear
you wear
a black
it in combination
Different
with the green shirt.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. Yeah, right? Isn't that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah, it's with the hat, with the shirt. You're like, oh, he was going for Fidel.
I woke up 8 a.m. putting this on. I was like, Fidel today,
It's
baby.
the beard too, obviously.
Oh man, I needed it. Put it side by side.
Spot on.
Oh man.
AJ, you're the best, dude. I'm sorry you got
say I'm lying.
Hey, he's in his zone right now, all right? This
Yeah.
guy's 6-0 to start the Euros gambling.
I know. I'm trying to pump him up. Let him know I'm proud of him, man.
That's what you're trying to do?
I'm not attacking his fashion. Believe me, I've seen Gump's Instagram. His fashion is much better than mine. I don't claim to be anywhere near him.
Yeah, but you are a judge of costume.
Who takes your pictures, Gump? Is that a self-timer?
Sometimes.
Hold on. Who was we had a tight end on our team who was with the Steelers, and then he joined the Colts. And when he joined, we won't say his name. When he joined, I know who it is.
Not Jack Doyle.
No. He's from the Titans, by the way. But when this tight end joined the team, 3 people from Pittsburgh that I knew sent me text messages and said, will you please ask him who takes the pictures? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, go look at his social media. Who's taking the photo? And it was insane because he had these incredible like photo shoots almost. But did he have a photographer? Did he not have a photographer? Some of it was happening in locker rooms, in the Steelers locker room. Turned out he had the best self-timer long before the Kardashian circle light thing.
Yep.
The
Socialite.
The socialite thing. He had this incredible setup. You're right. And if Gumpy does get great shots, I do wonder that. Do we use the camera in here? We should. You look great.
I just use my I put portrait mode on the iPhone, then you do like a 10-second timer, rest it somewhere.
Oh,
perfect!
Wow.
Hell yeah,
that's a good photo. Hey, WWE has photo shoots like set up every single Friday. It's very simple. We could probably do it here, I think.
Very easy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that camera is awesome when Z takes pictures.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Does every wrestler have their picture taken like you do every Friday?
No, I've done it at this point because because I mean it's hilarious that there is a full, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a hilarious opportunity. You just walk by to get food, by the way. You're going from one place to go get food and you just walk by, there's a full photo shoot set up with like 2 camera people that are professional photographers. It's all right, I'm gonna stop in here. I'm gonna stop in here and never get this ever done, you know? It's,
And then do they just send it to you? How does that work?
yeah, airdrop. It caused quite a stir there early though, by the way, me posting before we went live, my outfit.
Why, is that like the big surprise?
Well, I don't think for me it was, but there was a conversation at least like, once you get cleared to post it, we can send it to you. And I was like, who's got cleared? And they're like, we will report back or whatever. So being an asshole, I was just trying, not being an asshole, definitely ended up being one though. I go down to Michael Cole, I'm like, who's got to fucking clear me to post a picture of say, hey, SmackDown's on tonight? Who is it? And Michael Cole goes, who told you you couldn't do it? And I'm like, oh, here we go. So then this becomes an entire, then Triple H is standing right there. So all of a sudden it becomes an entire thing. And then I get a text like, hey, you're cleared, by the way, here's your photos. I'm like, oh, fuck. I probably just started something without even trying to start something. But all the people there are so nice, so nice. But I felt like a big dick in that particular case because it was like, I don't know who's telling you can't post it. Michael Cole goes, Mr. Rich, is you allowed to post a photo? Yeah, that's why he's here. Yeah, you're allowed to post a photo, Pat. Thank you. And then Cole, well, somebody needs fucking. And
everyone's gonna get it.
And everybody's on headsets, by the way. So things get sent.
Word travels quick.
Boom! We're talking bang, pow, boom, photo community. I get a text out of nowhere from a number I don't know. You're welcome to send. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, I am so sorry I just caused that. I did not mean that. But it's everybody at the WWE, I feel like is so talented. Legitimately. Like camera people. So when a cameraman falls, it is awesome. That is a great moment because that person's been there probably forever. I don't know everybody as well as I should. But there's like, it's a cool family in there, man. It's the more and more I learn.
It.
Go ahead.
No, I said I felt it when I was down there a few times. Believe me, with the NXT thing and all of that. Like that, I think I told you that night and multiple times. Like this is like everyone is super cool here. I figured they would like Outcast say, stay against the wall, don't get in the way, just don't whatever. And they're like, yeah, do whatever you want, man. You're good. And they were all super nice.
Yeah, it's really interesting because
it's a family. It's a family.
Legit. It really is, and NXT included. There's only a couple people really. For the long haul here that have made decisions with WWE. And it feels like they're all still there. You know what I mean? And they getting a chance to talk to these people that I've heard about is really cool. And they're all so nice. Like genuinely so nice.
Very nice.
Is Laurinaitis back, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's James's uncle, yeah. So what is his title?
I'm not sure.
It doesn't matter. But yeah, he's back, right? After he left for a little bit?
Yeah, shook his hand for a little bit there.
Cool.
It's interesting that people, it is so, hey, Listen, if Foxy's getting fucking handshakes now from people.
Big moment. Big moment.
Mr. H comes over, says hello or whatever, great to see you or whatever. Then obviously, the people that are hanging around the ring there during the day while everything's going on. And then as he goes to leave, because people got like 700 questions for him, he stops and looks at Evan and goes, I think he said Evan?
Yeah, he did.
I think he said Evan.
Tap me on the shoulder.
Yeah.
That was big. Never want to interrupt Mr. H. He's got a lot of shit to do.
A lot of shit to do. That guy's got.
I felt good. I'm not in the way or anything.
That guy's got a lot of shit.
Hey, Foxy, did he wink at you and pat you in the back like, hey, bathroom party, bud?
That might be this Friday, though.
You think that's how?
What if it's all? He's like, I've seen some of your work, Foxy.
Age, dude.
Party, some of the best stuff I've seen.
You're a clown.
Clown, dude. Stooge, bro.
I mean, Foxy would have to feel good that hey, thank you for consuming my content, Mr. H.
Yeah, good point. I mean, absolutely.
Let's hope that is not the content of Foxy's that people are consuming. We work our dicks off over here not for that, but
Yeah.
I do appreciate, the roots.
Part of it.
The roots.
Yeah. Started.
Yes.
The Michael Cole stuff was awesome in the last Mr. Friday Night.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Hey, he's one of the best humans on earth, and he has been there and seen that and heard that from everybody. He's fucking the best, dude. That guy, from literal wars to getting humans thrown at him. He's like, how old is he now? He's got to be 50 something at least. He's been around a long time. 24 years that guy's been doing that. Humans getting thrown at him out of nowhere, by the way. We do. Out of nowhere, just sitting there doing his thing. Oh, there's a fucking human. And then taking his entire headset off, kicking him in the thigh, the whole thing. And then looking at me and going, I was the voice of the WWE for like 15, 20 seconds on Fox. Nobody else had a microphone but me for the WWE. And I looked over and Michael Cole was like doing this. And then in my ear, obviously, they're like, hey, he doesn't have a mic. Take us to break or whatever. And I'm like, oh, here's a moment here, huh? We could really. And then Mr. Corbin is laying at my feet, and he can hear me. So as I have this open mic, I'm going to go ahead and
get him.
Throwing King Corbin like a sack of trash, I'm saying, in his face while he's laying down, unconscious, obviously. So he was beat up pretty good.
Rocked.
And then go back to the thing. And then obviously after medical attention was brought to him and he was better, I almost got punched right in the face by him. He was, oh, hey, pal. Hey, listen, I was the only one on the mic. I had to call it as it was. What do you want? I saved the show. And then, why are you almost punching me? I saved the show, pal. What a wild life that is over there.
Hey, I saw they're having an open tryout. You think any ex-football players are going to go?
I don't. I
know
hope.
Merriman did it. Merriman did a little bit, right? He trained.
Yeah, Merriman's in there, and there's a guy named Moose right now. I think he's a heavyweight champion at TNA. Oh, TNE. TNA, I think he's at TNA. He's a former NFL guy, though. He's doing really well. Obviously, Roman, football player, doing very, very, very well. Football has a good...
Mojo Raleigh, which is...
Yeah, Mojo.
Dean Mutati.
Mojo had a hell of a run there. Okay, I don't know what he's going to do next. Hopefully, he does get a chance to get back in there. I think he is not with the WWE anymore. He's a super cool guy, by the way. There's another NFL guy, though. The NFL has a deep history over there. Maybe. Who do you think would potentially go?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like a guy like Pac-Man. Like, I would watch him. If Pac-Man was in any kind of fight, yes, we would watch. But a wrestling match, I think if Pac-Man got into it, I think he would be awesome.
I think he was a tag team champion for TNA at one point, Pac-Man, while he was playing for Tennessee Titans.
Wow.
Yeah, I think so. You can look that up. While he was playing, I think he was a champion at TNA. Because TNA was run out of Tennessee, it was Jeff Jarrett, Dixie, Carter, maybe, and something else. And I think he was wrestling while, like, in the fall, too, I think. And he was playing offense, defense, and special teams at the time.
He was definitely on TNA. Yeah.
He was with R-Truth.
Yeah, him and R-Truth, I think, I think they were champs, right? Were they champs?
I believe so.
Yeah, you're right, though. What I'm saying is I watched when that happened because it is Pac-Man. And I assume if he was to come back, I'd definitely watch that. And he'd be able to do it, by the way.
What about, who's a giant that I think may surprise some people? What if Eli Manning stepped in the ring?
I don't know how your brain got to Eli Manning, and I don't know what you were thinking.
Well, originally I was going to say Peyton, but he's got the neck injury. You don't want to wrestle with that. But Eli, I think, could really we could see his personality come out.
Well, on Twitter, he's starting to, start to flame folks.
Yeah.
And with Arch Manning coming up through the ranks, maybe Eli will start cutting promos for people. I'm not sure Eli is signing up for, the bumping and everything like that, but maybe Eli's next WWE superstar. Maybe Eli
Possible.
Manning, maybe you. I mean, it could be anybody.
What about like Kyle Williams, partner him with Otis or
Let's
something?
get him in it. Otis.
Yeah.
Kyle's too good of a golfer, man. He's a stud golfer.
His hands are so good, Kyle.
Him and Otis.
Yeah.
Otis shaved his beard.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Clean. I mean, with the whole thing.
He looks more serious, more mean.
Yeah, scary.
Ain't messing around.
No. When I saw he came out, I had to mute my mic. Oh, what? And I looked at Cole. You bully him into shaving his face like you did to fucking me, pal? What's going on? And then this is another chapter.
It's a new
here.
Otis.
Another chapter of Otis. He's more ruthless, more savage, and wants to be taken more serious, AJ. So he shaved that thing. But him and Kyle next to each other, you're talking about just meat.
Yeah, a lot of beef.
A lot of meat.
Maybe Richie Incognito.
Oh,
and
get
Otis.
on the meat wagon.
Yeah.
Richie Incognito, Kyle Williams, Otis. Oh my God, let's get Casey Hampton in there.
Yes.
What's he doing? Let's go.
Jared Allen, maybe. Bring him in.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
He's not necessarily same exact body type, but I don't know what he's been doing since retirement, but let's get his ass in the meat wagon.
Add a little height, a little depth to the group.
Get AJ's best friend, that scumbag Vontez Perfect.
Oh, okay. Vontez Perfect's ready to go anytime.
Very athletic. He would be good. He is very physical and athletic.
He changed the NFL, by the way, Vontez Perfect. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll show. Is that what's happening? I saw the headline there that as they ramp up for WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas, or SummerSlam weekend in Las Vegas, which will be, that's first full stadium, I think, since, COVID happened, because WrestleMania was in Tampa. I think it was 25% filled or something like that. Yeah. So this is first potential, packed out. I think they're making it I think this is going to be a big.
When is this?
Hell in a Cell is this upcoming
That's
Sunday.
right.
Hell yeah.
All right, Hell in a Cell is what we need to be really thinking about. But SummerSlam, the party of the summer, live from Las Vegas, August
21st.
Hell yeah! Woo! Party of the summer, dude. Come on. You coming?
Good to promote it. Where is it again?
Las Vegas!
I know you said that like 4 times, but but you're already traveling. Like you're already starting going on the road in July, though. So it's not the first live event.
Actually, it's funny you say that. Those are arenas. That first weekend we're live, I do believe there's a chance, biggest night in the history of my existence.
Really?
Maybe. Maybe.
Ooh.
What if I get an open mic in that arena? Have we thought about it? Have we thought about the thought of me getting an open mic in an arena filled with people that I'm allowed to say they stink?
Has to happen.
Oh my God! If that happens, I'm not saying I'm pitching it. Listen, I am low man on totem pole at WWE, but if it happens to happen, which I've been to a lot of WWE events, microphones are open door. Now sometimes there's a dance cam and a competition cam and everything like that. But what happens if I just get a? Is this thing on? In the middle of a commercial break. Oh, Houston, how's it going? Could you imagine? Oh, it'd be a blast.
Especially if it is in the middle of a commercial break, too, and then we get to see it later in one of Foxy's flicks. It's like that whole
who knows if that'll happen. I'm excited for the fans. I think the fans, by the way, are going to hate me if I'm there. Because I'm standing. And their seats are behind me.
Not used to that.
I don't know how we're going to figure. I'm going to have to do one of these, Dahn.
Bring a booster seat.
Yeah, well, those are normally pretty...
Yeah. We'll bring a booster. Maybe a couple textbooks to sit on.
Well, that's where they put me and A.K. Shipley at whenever we went to the show. And they introduced us as Indianapolis Colts are here. We didn't even put our names on. Happens. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Bjorn Werner was at one of the WWE events alongside us. He'll join us tomorrow, by the way.
Okay.
Bjorn Werner will join us talking about the NFL in Germany and everything that's going on over there. And also, he will come on the show and chat about how an American who did not grow up with a ping pong table at his house absolutely beat the fuck out of him on the ping pong table.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Talking about me, by the way.
Yeah.
I am said American that did that. You know what I mean? He cut a promo, I guess, on my ping ponging ability this weekend in German on IG story. So I heard it. I didn't understand what it was. I actually said, "What did you just say about me?" Because at the end he had a poll and it was ja or nine. Okay. So I said ja was my answer. What did I just say yes to? And he said, me being better than you at ping pong. I was like, nine. So let's join us tomorrow. I can't wait for that. I guess we got an update on Stephon Gilmore news, AJ Hawk. Stephon Gilmore, a situation unfolding in New England. Cornerback Stephon Gilmore, who skipped mandatory practice today, is planning to skip the rest of minicamp as he seeks a new deal per Andrew Callahan. Woo. New England could opt to fine him $93,000 for his absences. I think that is the max amount of money you can be fined for missing mandatory minicamp. That was the same exact amount that Aaron would have been fined. Gilmore is in the final year of his deal with a $7 million base salary. The contract, the future contract, the new deal has been something that has had Stephon Gilmore on the trade block for a couple years now. Now it is official per Andrew Callahan via at My Sports Update. Stephon Gilmore says, I ain't doing none of it. If you ain't giving me a long-term deal, get me the fuck out of town. Interesting, fascinating. This is a great football player, AJ Hawk, and there are teams that need a corner. Yes. There are teams that also are potentially interested in Richard Sherman, who's available right now. How's that affect everything? I don't know. AJ, your thoughts?
Well, would he have been able to participate if he showed up? Is his quad healed enough?
He's still rehabbing it.
So he wouldn't even have to do that. So he would have had to probably rehab, stand on the side, a lot of conversations, I assume.
Either way, though, is there any chance he's back in New England this year?
Hey, last year it was a chance he wasn't coming back. And then he, instead of opting out, he opted in and then played good football. And I don't know. Where's he going? He's gone. Huh? You guys are already, like Patriots fans have already come to grips with him being gone.
I feel like because of the trade rumors for a while now, it's just been like, okay, Gilmore's probably not someone who's going to be here after this contract. But it is the final year and it says new deal. But if they give him, say, $5-6 more million, you think he'd play one more season then hit the road?
Hey, do it one more. Hey, you and me, we've been around. Hey, one more. Let's do this thing right, okay? Let's play out this contract. We'll give you an extra $5 million, $12 million bucks. Huh? Not too shabby. And then we'll kick you the fuck out of the building after.
Go get that new deal.
Now, you might get hurt, okay? You might get hurt. So this might be the last money you make for the rest of your life. But how about it, huh?
That's football, baby.
How about we do that whole thing? I don't know. It's the headline this morning, or I guess not. I guess it's the lower third. It actually wasn't the headline because it was at the bottom. So it was the lower third. On Get Up this morning said from Maziano that NFL teams, people around the NFL are interested in the Aaron Rodgers situation because they don't want it to turn into the NBA where star players, Maziano says, teams I've talked to are very interested in hoping Packers don't trade Rodgers. NFL owners don't want their league to turn into the NBA. Now, I will apologize to Maz, although I do watch this show every morning. I'm a big Greeny fan, obviously. Love Louis Riddick and Swagoo here. Swagoo, welcome back. New backdrop, that whole thing. I enjoy this show. I enjoy Hembo. I got a chance to see these people. I like it. So I don't know what Maz said to go alongside of this or why that's a lower third, but I found that interesting because if that's the case, and I feel like Maz has an inside scoop somewhere in a lot of places, he acts as an insider and a pundit. I think he does a good job on there. So if that's a real thing, what's going to happen with Stephon Gilmore? What's going to happen with any other player? Maybe the Russell Wilson situation happens again. If they don't want that, I could see why they don't want it, but is it an inevitability at this point? And is the whole team, or is the league potentially colluding not to, answer the wishes of these players who want to move because they saw it happen in the NBA? Is this a potential lawsuit waiting to happen here, AJ?
I don't know. I mean, it's not going to be the NBA. We know that. Football is so different. One player in the NBA can make a team someone that can compete for the championship. In football, Aaron is that good. He can definitely take a team that is average and make them great at times for sure. But you still need pieces around them. So, I mean, the owners, of course, they're scared that, hey, they may be chipping away at it, but these players are getting more and more power, and they're starting to feel themselves a little bit, and they think they can try to opt out of OTAs, try to sit out and not do this, not have off season. The owners probably just want to stop it and not let this thing continue to trickle out.
Hey, they can't be colluding up there. And by the way, You can have all the collusion you want up there. All you need is one owner to be like, yeah, we're not doing it, right? Yep, give me that fucking guy. give me that guy. And then that causes an entire thing. I don't know. The players, I was never a player that had any type of leverage. AJ was at one point if he really wanted to. This isn't going to turn into the NBA because there's only a select group of guys in the entire NFL that can do it. And it's not a large majority of players. The NBA feels like literally every player could just be like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I'll go make this team immediately better. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a couple role players, I guess, but it feels like the team either stinks or they don't. That's just kind of
and with like the contracts and stuff, like it's all very much player friendly. And I feel like with the NFL, obviously they have all these loopholes.
Are they colluding, AJ?
Collusion, you say?
Is this a collusion?
Okay, what do they have to do to for it to be considered collusion? Like, how far do they have to go?
Well, they have to send in an email or a memo and get caught on the record somehow.
Hopefully they're not stupid enough to do that, obviously.
Well, you got to remember, every email the commish sends out, the last paragraph is, we think this is a very good idea, and if you don't fucking tell anybody.
Keep your mouth shut.
You tell us directly. Okay? That is normally in the memos that are leaked on a regular basis there at the end. Like, we've thought this one pretty well through. If you find any holes in our plan, of course don't tell anybody. But fucking send the idea to us here if you would like to do that. What are you going to say, Colin?
Well, if they were colluding, right, like who would they, for the Packers, if it's the owners, like are they colluding with Mark Murphy or Gutekunst? Is that the...
Yeah.
Murphy goes to the owners' meeting. When they have those owner meetings, Murphy's the guy who goes.
Does he get any say, you think? Or are they just like, oh, guy that doesn't have any money involved?
Hey, Mark, shut up.
Then it feels like Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft kind of run the show anyway.
Hell yeah.
You think they'll ever let anybody in those rooms? No.
What do you mean? They're going to have to.
Like docs. I'm talking like documentaries. Like,
oh, no.
I want to be in the room where it happened.
I'm surprised. Aren't you always surprised that...
I'm cultured. That's Hamilton. Get off me.
Aren't you surprised at Hard Knocks that they let them into their staff meetings when they're talking about players and acquisition and all that they're doing?
Who is that? Hugh and that guy that broke his hip at that bar.
Todd Haley.
Todd Haley, yeah.
Oh, Tequila Cowboy.
Tequila Cowboy down there. You got a bullet. Don't get on it. The guy running that's a perf. It's basically a bull-shaped dildo you're on.
Did Hugh say that?
Huh?
Did Hugh say that, or did you say that?
No, I said that about bull riding in those bars in general. You know what I mean? There's somebody in the corner that's getting off on what and controlling what you're doing on it.
What's he doing with his left hand?
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. Exactly. Seems all like fun and games till you get on there and they just bash your face.
Mm-hmm.
Or Good, have 10 more drinks. Todd Haley was in that bar.
Yeah.
By the way, that I'm not saying that particular bull operator is a scumbag. I'm just saying I'm sure most
lot of them out there.
I'm sure most are there. But hey, always a show, always entertaining. I appreciate it, whatever the case is. But yeah, Todd and you getting into it, you know, and Todd putting the hat down and doing the whole. Yeah. I regret every decision in my life that has ended up with me here. You know, that whole thing. That
was a rough look for Hugh when he made he took a stand saying, hey, when I was in your seat, like I used to think that too. But when you're sitting here, then you can start making those decisions when you're in the top dog.
Hey Todd, you ever experienced that? You did very shortly, right? I've been here for 17 straight losses, pal. I've been here a long time.
Well, and even for the
These
players.
are dog years here. This is a dog pound, all right, pal? I've been a coach for 1 year. Might as well be 10 whenever you're talking about in Cleveland. What do you have?
Wasn't it last year where the player for the tight end for the Chargers was like, hey, look, I think I could be Antonio Gates for you guys going forward. He was like a 7th round pick, and they cut his ass like very early on.
I'm not sure because Sons and Four Guys about to be the official. Sons and Four Guys about to be the official Phoenix Suns mascot. And I would like to say, congrats to this guy handling 2 cheap shots, knocking some people out while telling them they're going to knock them out, and then predicting that the Phoenix Suns were going to sweep the goddamn MVP in the Denver Nuggets. Now Devin Booker's like, hey, let's go, bub. Let's put you on the sideline of every game. Yeah. You know what Kevin Durant's guy did? We need you. All right? If anything pops off, you're coming on to the goddamn court and you're throwing those quick rabbit uppercuts that put people into an absolute pretzel, pal. Congrats to him and congrats to the Suns. I love this guy.
Hey, we need the Suns to win it all, but this dude will be on the first float of the parade if they win it all.
This guy, by the way, in a booze.
He's going to be there like, who's the Grandma Kathy or whatever that basketball team had in the NCAA?
Sister Jean.
Grandma Kathy. How dare you, son of a bitch.
To be fair, we all knew who you were talking about.
Yeah.
All right, so not that terrible of a descriptor, I guess. But yeah, this guy going to be the Suns mascot. Do they have a son that waddles around like the Flint Tropics?
They used to have a gorilla.
Yeah. Used to do dunks. Used to do trampoline, like flip dunks. It was amazing.
Hey, I believe it. These gorillas are fucking real, dude. They are actual gorilla?
Yeah.
Oh, no, man. Gorillas.
He looks real to me.
I thought they had an actual gorilla.
He was nasty in NBA Jam.
I watched Kong. These gorillas, they can take trees out of the ground, fucking strip them of their branches, tighten up the edge to like make it sharpen like a pencil, and then throw it through like a biodome. It's unbelievable what these gorillas can do.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, look, he's real.
It's not a real gorilla. That's a human in a costume.
Are you sure? Are you 100%?
I mean, I'm pretty certain of it now. But goddamn, I thought they had an actual gorilla. I was so
be so cool.
I was so pumped, dude.
I think they did for a few games.
I don't know if you're being. Are you
I'm serious? I thought I saw a few games they legit had a real gorilla.
You're not.
Not
Dude,
as cool, but they got
I watched a Disney documentary on these animals. Bro, these macaques, dude. I am so invested in these things. Like Ricky Gervais's entire bit, basically, about us humans, we're just chimps, right? We're basically chimps. And then the more and more, chimps would, by the way, handle a cigar better than what he's doing up there.
Good Lord.
In his attic up there. A lot of kindling around him, too, with all those books behind him, so take it easy, pal. But these monkeys, gorillas, it's unbelievable what I watched this fucking chimp take some fruit down to the river, clean it off, give it to her kid. I was like, that's a human.
Yeah.
Then I watched Kong versus Godzilla. Oh, listen, we can't let these things turn. They need to stay on our side.
Yes.
Godzilla's quite a heel, by the way. I did not know Godzilla was such a heel. But Kong may be I want a tattoo, I think, of King Kong.
Hell yeah.
I fucking love Kong. It's the first time I've watched either of these existence of things. I seen the statue of Godzilla in Japan when I was over there. But with that being said, Kong is that fucking dude. Anybody likes Godzilla? Stooge.
Well, you didn't get the whole story. You got the fucking Mickey Mouse worst of all the movies that they've did. So
This is the most recent one?
yeah.
He's just saying that because Kong beats the piss out of Godzilla.
Well, that's not true. Godzilla
did.
could have killed him like 5 times.
So
but
could
chose
have
not
Kong.
to.
So could have Kong. When he had that sword thing. Yeah. When he had that sword thing.
The axe.
Which, by the way, no spoilers, but worth a watch.
Yeah.
Worth it. You see Kong vs. Godzilla?
No, I have not seen that, but I have seen a documentary where this dude has multiple chimps, has them dressed in like jeans and overalls, grilling on the grill and drinking beer.
In real life?
Yes, they're real chimps.
Hey, we had that fifth grade teacher.
Mrs. Brooke.
Mrs. Brooke.
Oh, yeah, she.
R.I.P.
But I don't know if she
Cool
died.
until they rip your
Good
face
run.
off.
Well, that's what happened to Mrs. Brooke. Yeah.
They ripped her spine out.
Yeah. Her whole
Wait, is
back.
this the lady that was famous that got her whole face ripped off?
Yeah, spine.
Spine. No, this lady wasn't famous, I don't think. She was famous in our neighborhood because she was
Yeah.
one of our teachers.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it was always talked about how awesome this chimp was, this orangutan, whatever the
Yeah,
hell
it
it
was
was.
orangutan, I think.
Yeah, orangutan was so cool. Mrs. Brooke got this orangutan. Miss Brooke, by the way, same classroom that the carton of cigs was found in my backpack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Shortly after there, that orangutan did turn on her, and it was a real shame. But those things are fucking humans, dude.
Turns out
Yeah.
she was maybe stealing cigs from your backpack and giving them to the orangutan. And
When they shut me down.
she was shut down, and an orangutan needed his goddamn cigarettes.
Where the fuck are my cigarettes, Miss Brooks? Probably what he said.
Not plural.
I would like a pet.
There we go.
Whoa. He's flipping fish. That's not an easy thing to flip.
No.
Fish is the most difficult thing to flip
So
because the
fragile.
the head and the spine will separate. But obviously, I mean, I think you can teach damn near any animal that has a brain how to do human stuff. I mean, there was that video of that penguin walking down to town with a backpack on, taking money, getting the fish in the back, coming back and waddling back into the igloo that was in the house or whatever. I'd seen a penguin do that type of thing, and I wanted a pet penguin there for a couple months, but I'm big on a pet monkey right now.
Yeah.
I
You should do it. Do it.
Build like a nice little jungle for him back there.
Bro, him just chilling with me too?
Yeah, don't worry. Once he hits puberty, he'll love you. Please get one.
He will. You've seen those.
You know he's gonna. Hey, you know they'll rip your meat off first, right?
No, he won't.
That's what they do. They're gonna rip your meat off and probably put it in your mouth. That's what they do. No, check it out.
I can't argue that.
There's those videos.
Check it out. James, I see. Check it out. That was a study you saw.
I couldn't come up with that.
That was that was a study you saw.
Science, man. You can't argue with it.
No, who was it? Jane Goodall? She raised a bunch of chimpanzees. She went back later on, and they remembered her. They loved her.
Yeah, I seen that with lions too.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's any animal, dude. I'll get that.
Where did she go back to find them?
Hold on, back in the preserve that they have for her, I think. By the way, that lady's very famous in the animal community or whatever. I've seen a lot of her shows. What were you saying?
AJ is correct. Chimpanzees do castrate their enemies.
Okay, so we don't get a chip.
There's nothing with the mouth though, but they could be doing that.
Yeah, so he's just kind of making it up that they're going to shove my.
I mean, they would, yeah, because they want you to be found like in the most embarrassing way. Like they want Sam to walk in and you got your meat in your mouth. And the chimp's just in the corner.
Chimps naturally have that. They just naturally have that in them.
I think if they feel some animosity towards you.
I mean, that chimp with the overalls, but we don't see it. He'd probably rip that guy's penis up, threw it right on the grill next to the fish.
No!
Yeah, ate that thing like a summer sausage later.
Jeez Louise, dude. Maybe not a chimp.
He held up a picture of what is it, Lorraine Bobbitt's husband, and then just turned it
All right, let's go. Let's go to Tommy in New York City. Tommy,
that dude got his meat cut off and thrown out the window.
Yeah, I know. We know. Thank you.
There's a lot of young people that watch that don't know.
Okay, like Jackie Chan. Is that what you're gonna say? Yeah. All right.
Jackie Chan's a great actor.
Funny narrative you're pushing this week. What's going on, Tommy?
Hey, what's going on, boys? I got a question for you. I want to know why more people aren't talking about the New York Football Giants being a perfect situation for Aaron Rodgers. We have the draft capital to maybe go get him. And I'm pretty much done with Danny Nickel and Dimes. You know what I mean?
Whoa! What about your offensive line, dude? Danny Dimes with an offensive line. This will be the first time ever, right?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. We got a new offensive line coach. We had kind of that mix up in the offensive line last year with the coach punching people. I forgot. So let's give the new guy some time.
Well, Tommy, I think the reason why we don't speak about it is because I think a lot of sports people are based in New York, like sports talk people are based in New York or have, they say you got. So I feel like you're kind of forced to listen to a lot of Giants talk. Is that not? Is it just this show that doesn't do a lot of Giants talk, or is it everywhere, Tommy?
Well, I don't listen to the New York shows because Chris Russo's gone and he's over here, so I listen to you guys.
Oh, Chris Mad Dog Russo. You a big Mad Dog fan, yeah?
Yeah, actually met him a bunch of times. He's a great guy.
He's a fucking electric factory, too. They've been clipping more of his shit, and I've been seeing it on the internet. He gets worked up.
Oh, yeah.
He's a mad dog.
Really? He's a mad dog.
He's a mad dog. All right, Tommy, appreciate you, buddy. We'll talk more Giants. We apologize. He's missing Mad Dog Show 40 minutes in. Well, he's probably got
Dual.
Home phone, cell phone.
Hey, by the way, I was thinking about this for my intermittent fasting. That has been a home run, by the way. Speaking of baseball, just fucking home run, dude. Good transition, holding a baseball. What a fucking genius host. Let's
go.
I just got to get to lunch, then the show happens, then I'm done. Then I can eat. You know what I mean? So like, my big thought is like, just get to noon, basically. You know what I mean? Like that's my entire thought. I've been getting a lot of tweets from people that their mornings at work are a fucking nightmare. Then they get to noon and then they're just miserable listening to us for the entire afternoon. Yeah. That's pretty sweet.
Not bad.
I'm happy to be a part of that whole thing with people. A lot of people spend their entire afternoons with us. Stats tell us that, and a lot of people tell us that. I have no idea why you do, but we appreciate the hell out of it, don't we, AJ? You want to say something nice to people?
Absolutely, man. I really appreciate people everywhere I go.
This guy does not care.
Disingenuous.
This guy does not care about the
Son
people.
of a bitch. Just because you guys pivoted from the chimp talk doesn't mean I'm not genuine in what I'm saying. But yes, I have a great time here. And the people are very, very nice. All ages come up to me and mention you. I'm like, hey, man, love you guys on Pat's show. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're like 95. And then the next person that comes up is 10 years old. I'm like, wow, that's a range.
It's very cool that all the people that do it spend their time with us. A lot of people are starting to do it, I think. And the destination thing about us is so cool from everybody else. Now, I'm not saying everybody else. You get it. We're not the first people to do this, but we go live every single day. It's destination. You have to go to YouTube or whatever to watch. I just want to say thank you. At some point, you're going to get sick of us. It was a hell of a run. I appreciate the hell out of it.
Thank you
I
guys.
appreciate the hell out of it. This fall, I mean, I'm trying to cook some shit up right now, actually, AJ. We got to think about the football season. You know, we're dead knuckle deep in summer, man. This is, I mean, come on. You tell your guy Aaron to do something so we have something to talk about. But I'm trying to cook for some shit for the fall. I think we got a pretty cool football season coming up. I think.
All right. Good. I mean, it should be. It's going to be. I think it's going to be a celebration everywhere with stadiums full, with everything hopefully coming back to somewhat normal.
We should do more live shows during the fall.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to go to a few concerts too, man.
What concerts you going to, dude? Nickelback?
I don't know.
Well, I know it's on
Bret Michaels.
first on the list. AJ told me he couldn't wait to see Kid Rock again.
All right. That's the show.
I haven't been to a Kid Rock show.
It's good. I actually have been to a Kid Rock show. I would like to state that.
Never again.
Won't ever now because just, I mean, what are we doing?
Not a Bob Ritchie show.
I mean, just come on. Well, either. Never,
No.
by the way. But like come on. You know, just come on, Bob, kid.
Bob.
It was 10.
One time.
It was 10:58 or whatever. Though it was one of the coolest moments I've ever experienced at a concert. Actually, every concert in Indiana shuts down at 11. You know, because the noise ordinance or whatever at 11. So at like 10:58 or whatever, you know, Bob comes on the microphone, says that if I play one more song, I'm gonna get fined. Whatever. It was 6 figures. It was pretty big, and they told me I should stop. And he said, I told him, my name is, and then kid carried it all the way through the 11 o'clock hour. It was like a big celebration, and then he played the rest of that song, and then he left. He literally took, I think it was a $200,000 fine to play ball with the ball at the bang, the dang, diggy, 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 said the boogie, said up, jump the boogie, and then he left. It was like, man, that's a wild decision. Little did I know, the wild decisions would continue to happen with old Bob. Yeah, I was like, man, this fucking guy does not care.
Pretty sweet.
Good for that guy. And then now it's like, Bob, come on, Bob, come to society, dude. Seems like he's drunk a lot, huh? Old Bob.
Yeah.
Well,
He's having a good time.
That's Michigan.
Northern Lake, Michigan. Yeah. Say it's summertime. He's got that song going just fucking nonstop.
I don't think so. I think the songs sound a lot different nowadays. Let's go to Thomas in Charlotte. What's going on, Thomas?
What's up, man? How y'all doing this week today?
Just hanging out, Thomas. What do you want to talk about, brother?
I want to talk about when's Matt Rule getting fired?
Whoa! Everybody said he was a good coach.
1 year.
How?
For what?
Team looked good.
Team looks decent, if anything. They won 5 games with Teddy Bridgewater.
Without McCaffrey all year.
Yeah, McCaffrey was hurt.
Didn't he sign like a 7-year deal?
Yeah.
What happened to next man up? Thought that was the thing.
Well, I mean, whenever it's your guy, you just paid him a lot of money, and he was going to be MVP there, running back, and he's out.
They had a guy a couple of years ago named Cam. They let him go.
Oh, they did kind of force him out. Are you still upset about that?
It hurts a little bit, but you got to move on.
Well, that's what you want to do to Matt Rule already, though.
Okay.
Who do you want him to bring in then if you don't want Matt Rule?
The OC from the Chiefs. What's his Eric Bieniemy?
Oh, Bieniemy? Okay, so you think Joe Brady, nothing? Not good?
No, not really.
All right. Hey, do you reflect that of a lot of Panthers fans, or are you kind of in your own thing? Do you get into a lot of fights with Panthers fans whenever you start talking like this, or is everybody like, yeah, Thomas knows?
Nah, not really. Some of them agree. I'm not gonna lie, but I just can't hop on the bandwagon of bringing a college coach to the NFL that's barely over 500.
What happens if Sam Darnold comes out and shits the bed? You gonna get loud?
Nah, I'm gonna just be like, I told you so.
Oh, big moment there, Thomas. Congrats out there. What if Sam Darnold just crushes it, though?
Yeah. What if McCaffrey has 2,000 yards again?
Wow. Richest owner in the NFL, allegedly.
DJ Moore. They got DJ Moore, underrated receiver there, too.
Bob Anderson?
He's a good player. I don't know who these people are.
Did lose Curtis Samuel, though.
Yes.
Problem.
He's very good.
Who do they got over there? They got that Joey Sly kid, right? Big leg kid.
Yeah.
He was like,
is their snapper still JJ? He was in Green Bay for a little bit.
I don't know. I should know that, but I don't.
Sly had that run last year. where he was like, what, 15 and 15
Rule's
or something
not afraid
like
to trot him out from.
Bro, I think he had like a 68-yard attempt.
Yeah,
It was
that's
against
what it was.
to beat the Chiefs, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, they almost beat them.
Yeah.
Something with the Vikings, too, happened. Something with the Vikings. Something.
Kicking in Carolina would be nice, wouldn't it? They always have that nice, like, Bermuda grass. The weather, you don't get crazy extremes.
A little bit of a breeze in that stadium. I played in that stadium a lot, you know. Sent Chase Rice into retirement in that stadium.
See ya.
See ya. Last game.
Bye,
ever.
Chase.
Is that the country singer?
Yeah. He was a great football player. Great football player. His last
Where did he play again?
North Carolina. Calling Raise up. Take your shirt off. Toss around here. Spin like a helicopter. P. Pablo, Chase Rice, North Carolina legends. Chase Rice, though, in that game, had to go against Pat White and I think Noel Devine at the time. Steve was already in the NFL or whatever.
Damn.
And it was our last game. It was our class's last game. And I'm not saying I did anything. I mean, kicked the game winner, but it was an extra point. It was not that impressive. I actually thought to myself, this is the first time I've ever gotten a chance to kick an actual game winner. I literally can't miss this. It was a pretty cool feeling. It was an extra point. Imagine if I fucking yanked that thing. Oh my God. I mean, that crosses your mind, I guess, at some point. But I was thinking about the celebration afterwards. And I was thinking Chase Rice ain't never playing football again. I'm joking. I'm not. AJ, what are we going to talk about tomorrow? Anything good?
Tomorrow's what, Tuesday? Usually a lot of stuff breaks between on Monday night going into Tuesday. So I'm sure a lot of stuff will happen tonight.
And then you're gone for the rest of the week, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately.
What are you doing?
Going down the old, Buckeye cruise for cancer situation. No cruises going on, but yeah, Buckeye cruise on land now.
Oh, so it's a land cruise. Okay, here we go. So how's this work? You guys just get in like a one of them lazy rivers?
I mean, I think they're basically taking over a whole resort down in Florida. That who the 2,500 people that normally go on the cruise are going to be at a hotel, and they're going to do similar activities, raising all the money. They raised like $3 or $4 million in like 5 days.
Is there? That's awesome, by the way. Congrats.
Yeah, wow.
So you're going to be so boozed up down on this property as if it's a booze cruise that you won't be able to FaceTime in from there, or will you be able to?
No, I might be able to FaceTime in with you, but I know the setup won't be nice, and throughout the day, I don't know. We have like commitments we're doing throughout the day.
What do? You go do like a Q&A panel in some press room?
I saw the itinerary. I got put on the college football preview panel with some other guys. I'm like, okay, good. I haven't seen any college football. I don't know anything about college football right now.
Okay,
but I will brush up a little bit.
Who else is on that panel?
I mean, usually like Herbie's on that. And
Herbie's
General Bob, different guys. Yeah, I don't know exactly who else on it.
Herbie's going to be down there?
I don't know if Herbie's coming to this. He usually goes on the cruise though.
Okay, so he said if it ain't on water, it ain't for me. Is that what Herbie said?
I mean, he might be there. I just don't know who's confirmed to actually be there.
Hey, tell Herbie we said hello, will you?
Yeah, if I see him, I will.
And to Zito's point, I think Urban Meyer was on this cruise, right? Before?
Yeah. All the money goes to the Urban and Shelley Meyer Foundation, yeah.
Oh, so Urban's going to be there. Let's talk about Duval.
I don't know. I don't know if actually Urban is going to be there, though.
Oh, he's not going to show up to his own fundraiser.
You guys are going to $3 to $4 million to his charity, and you're not going to be there?
No, I would assume he will come by. I don't know though.
Well, he just said he wasn't coming.
Hey, listen, can we put another charity in there if it's not going to go to that one?
Oh, obviously, you guys are asking me a lot of questions, and I don't have any answers.
Darius Rucker's going to this
Yeah,
thing?
Darius Rucker's going to be there.
Darius Rucker's going to be on this cruise?
Holy shit. Darius Rucker played the last cruise they had. Yeah, he was
this
awesome.
might be the last cruise.
Oh, okay, so just run it back, though, on land. Get him out there.
Come on, Hootie. Good show.
Why you punish me on a cruise with the Buckeyes?
Him and his band came. They flew. Like the boat was
the
docked in
Blowfish.
Bahamas. Yeah, well, they're not the Blowfish. Whatever his band is now.
The Dolphins make me cry.
Yeah, they're gonna be good next
He
year.
had that dude played the hits out there right on the deck of the ship in the Bahamas. He flew in. I guess he flew down private, played golf that day, got on the boat that night, played his deal. He could have just flown home, but he stayed on the boat overnight, gambled, and then got off the boat the next day when we got back to Florida.
Wouldn't it be nice to be Hootie where you can just show up with a guitar, know your voice is going to sound unbelievable, know that the songs are going to be a hit, and just be able to do whatever the fuck you want? I'm going to go golf with the Blowfish, get pretty fucked up, then we're going to go on this cruise over here, play some songs, then we're going to gamble all night, then we'll just get back at it tomorrow.
That's Hootie, baby.
That is Hootie.
That is
yeah.
Hootie.
That is
Hey, you know, he after his little concert, there's like a little get together in someone that had a sweet big old room that had a piano. and General Bob was in there, and General Bob's having a good time. Had a great time. He loves concerts, and Bob grew up playing the piano, and so Hootie's there. Darius is in the room with the rest of the bandmates, and Bob gets on the piano, wants to show everybody his chops, and whether he may have been seasick, maybe a couple too many
Blacked
drinks.
out.
I don't know. Bob just didn't have it like he thought he had it. And he's still very disappointed that he missed that opportunity.
He got a little stiff-fingered, huh? Can't have that.
I think he started forgetting some of the stuff. Yeah.
Oh no.
I could play two things on there. I can play the.
Beethoven.
But you only have to play the first. People get it. As soon as you just go, and then I can do the Batman thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Range.
I mean, I guess. It's kind of like my Spanish speaking skills. You just come in hot, make them think that you know what you're doing, and then you're like, oh, yeah, that guy can speak Spanish. Can't, but they're never going to know that.
I got a big pop in Tampa.
Then it, yeah, exactly. Bingo. He saw it in person.
Yeah.
Building a building right next door. Aquí estamos, mi amiga, huh?
Kid looked up huge smile. Oh!
Cheers, and we go. That guy forever thinks that I know how to speak Spanish.
That guy was fluent.
Good for that guy. You go into it. People are like, oh shit.
Wow. Is there a piano?
You know how to play the piano too? Yeah. I gotta go to the bathroom. Gotta go to the bathroom. When's that? Wednesday?
Yep.
I
go down Wednesday.
Can we go to this thing?
Yeah, come on in.
Is this
Bring
sold
your
out?
Bring your checkbook, man. That's where we auction off a lot of sweet experiences. That's how
What are
they
you
raise
auctioning off? Anything cool?
money. Different experiences. Yeah.
What are you doing? Come on this show with you? Sit in the attic with you?
Paris.
We actually sell some tables to our charity event that we have in August on this thing, and different stuff.
There's AJ Hawk. Look at that right next to Zeke. Zeke's gonna be there?
Yeah, Zeke's been the last couple of years. Zeke's awesome on the boat. He is, believe me, he's one of the people. He is out and about.
At the hotel, I guess, not the boat.
No.
Jack Mueller's gonna be there?
Yeah, Jack's the man. Jack weighs like 180 pounds.
Craig and Pappas. Let's go.
Hey, Boom's gonna be there too. Tell Boom I said hello. So what if you did any? Cardell Jones is gonna be here. Here we go. If you just did sports at Ohio State, you go to this thing. Is that what kind of happens? Is this the cult thing?
No, I mean different. Each year they bring in some new people.
Shay's here.
Hey, Jeff Ulenake right there. You see, he was the guy that was looking. Ace Ventura was looking at his penis, and he hopped out of the bathroom.
All right.
Great guy, strength. In the movie. Ace Ventura.
That's exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Great scene.
All right. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate you, man. For boys,
He was a great guy. Ulenake's the man. We always still talk with him about that scene. Stole the movie, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, AJ. Good luck out there. We'll see you tomorrow, though, right? Before you go out on that cruise?
Yeah, I'll be here.
All right. Appreciate you, man. We'll see everybody. Bye.